see. Bring that in. There we go. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Daddy Dave, and this is another AgriBusiness Tonight. How is everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody's having a fantastic day so far. I am joined here by my co-host, WillTGaming. Will, how are you doing tonight?
Tonight I'm doing okay.
Excellent, excellent. Always good to be having at least the moment that we're doing things on a good note.
Oh, yeah.
I tell you what, it has been a long week. Wow. We got so much to discuss tonight.
Oh, yeah. Here we do. Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's WTG here. How is everyone doing today? I just want to get my intro out of the way for a minute. Oh, man, do we have a lot. Yeah. I mean, dude, I'm not even kidding you either. Like, it has also been a very stressful week because there's been a lot of news.
There's been a lot of news. There's been a lot of mods. There's been a lot of maps. There's been a lot of everything going on here.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It's going to be one of those days. Hopefully things start settling down here soon.
I just want to point out to everybody, we might not get to the news today. I mean, we didn't get as many mods last week than we usually do. But I don't think we're going to have time to go over the news. But if you guys haven't yet, just make sure you go check out WillTGaming Encyclopedia over on Facebook. You can find everything from mod drops to updates to any kind of news there is. Which, speaking of that giant software, actually, there's one thing I do want to point out real quick before we start.
Let's hear it.
Before we start this. Come on, Facebook. Well, thank you. A couple things. First thing is pay attention tomorrow afternoon-ish, because I will be streaming a first look at Wampsville, New York by Star Spangled Mods, which I will also be accompanied by Star Spangled Mods as well. So just keep an eye out for that. And also Giants also posted today. Tiny fields, big dreams. Something is growing. Stay tuned.
Dun 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 dun.
You will not believe, because like the picture that they put is like someone like making a small scale type of thing, you know.
I wonder if they are doing another like version of that map that came out for 22, the close to home.
I have no idea.
Wouldn't that be just ridiculous?
All I do know is because they said, we're building something different. Share your guesses in the comments below. These comments are ridiculous.
Oh, really?
Like, one says classic farming with old equipment. And then someone replied to him saying, "Oh, that would make a great platinum DLC if there was a lot of old school equipment. That they'd sell a lot." And then says, "Not to me." That's what someone else says. And then somebody else says, "Auto load for wood Xbox" with a big old smiley face.
Oh, wishful thinking.
Yeah, and then someone was like, I want to say it's pronounced diorama. I think that's how you pronounce it, with a question mark. And
I mean, that's exactly what it looks like. Their building is a diorama.
Yeah,
in that little picture there.
Yeah, and then someone else says that means new map. No, that does not mean a new map. That just means something else. I don't know. It says and then someone else said farm manager simulator.
Oh my goodness. You know what? I don't know what it is with people, but for the longest time, the longest running joke in the NHL community, in the EA Sports gaming world, was referee mode. I kid you not. People were so hard up. I used to hear it year in and year out. Every single, is this the year we're gonna get referee mode? Is this like they literally want to be able to be the referee in the game, not the players, not shooting the puck. They want to just skate back and forth, and be able to call offsides, call penalties, and stuff like that. I'm like, are you
Right.
nuts?
Right. Well, I mean, it kind of reminds me of this. Somebody literally put this comment in here, and I wanted to flip out. You ready?
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Carpet farming simulator.
What?
Yeah, exactly what. And then and then somebody said precision farming is coming back, question mark, exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point. And then somebody said tabletop farming game, question mark.
Close to home. Dude, close to home. I'm telling you. What? Mark my words.
Just a couple of things I just want to touch up on real quick. Nothing really major, but there is an update that's already been submitted to Giants for Elmo. And it does not require a new save game, thankfully.
Nice.
Custom Modding has their 4940 self-propelled sprayer. That's actually in testing right now again for the third time. And they also have their Velmetal stuff. Like their whole they were gonna put it as a slurry pack, but then they decided to have it as 4 separate mods. That's all in testing right now with Giants. And then right now, what says pending is their Case IH 2160 Early Riser Planner Series, the big one.
Okay.
So, and also, you will not believe this.
I might.
So when I shared ICUS's and JHHG moddings and custom modding stuff on my page, right? The latest stuff that I shared, they went and liked it on my page.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I was like, ooh.
I actually had a similar experience with one of my map tours here recently. I think it was Trucker Matsy. Ended up leaving me a comment on my map tour.
Nice. That's basically about it for the news. I mean, there's really not much else.
And now buckle up because, whoo, boy, do we got a lot of mods to go over.
Actually, I take that back. There is one other thing, and this is just briefly. I'm not going to go through the whole changelog at all, but just let everyone know patch 1.7 did come out. In case everyone was wondering. So, I know a lot of people were not happy because it added something into the game, and then it added just a livery to the 8R. And a lot of people were, which they fixed the corn texture on consoles.
So is it just me, or does it seem like certain trees all of a sudden got borked in 1.7?
I have no idea.
It's so I ended up doing a map tour, and I can't remember which one it was, but I noticed that the trees in the forestry area looked like very almost two-dimensional. Like it just looked very weird. I mean, really almost one-dimensional. It was really bad. And then it wasn't until you got like right up on top of it when it actually kind of morphed into like this rudimentary three-dimensional figure. So I just assumed at the time it was, it must be something to do with that map. Well, then I went in and did another map tour, and it's like, like this is kind of similar on this map too. It's like, is this just something to do with like the new 1.7? So I didn't know. Didn't know if it was a 1.7 or if it was actual like thing going on.
I don't know. I haven't noticed that, so just pardon me if you hear sniffling over here for some other reason, because my allergies. I got a runny nose.
Gotcha.
All right, we'll start on the mods. So the first one we're gonna go over it. This is a map. It is a map update for North Frasian 25. It's by Sir Jokey 80 and Joey. It's 303.88 megabytes to download. It is going to be version 1.0.0.1. Now, if you guys haven't yet, BDD already made a video out for this. So, but it does say fix the bug when selling decorations at the pig farm that caused the game to crash. Fix the bug when selling manure plate at the Western cow farm near the industrial area. Fix the spawn point at contractor farmland 249 so that you don't spawn inside the house, and fix various deco errors that were /r in the way. New save game isn't required. There's a lot of required mods for this.
30, I do believe.
Yeah.
This so I did the tour of this because this also the day before that this update came out, literally the day before, it was released. So I did the tour and the update in the matter of 2 days. And I really liked this map. I really liked it. I gave it a 4 out of 5. And it was just one of those where the map itself was just very unique in how it is all kind of laid out. It has these different zones and areas that gives you the, how do I put it, the different styles of land masses that can be available. You got your flat areas, you got your kind of hilly areas, you got your almost like these canals that are very common I see on like European style maps, like the oh goodness, don't tell me it's the I mean, they say this one's North Germany, but it's very common in like Dutch. Is it Dutch?
Yeah.
It might be Dutch. The kind of berms that you'll see, they kind of build up all the way around the map. It's just a really unique style of map, and I do really like it. So definitely give this one a check, but be forewarned, this took me hours and hours. So I've had a really busy, really kind of crummy week this week. And it's been going on for a couple of weeks now, actually. And when this came out towards the beginning of the week, I tried downloading this. And because of all the mods, it didn't want to install properly. There were several mods, like the, the additional deco pack, anything that was large in size, just didn't want to install. It just kept failing and loading and failing, loading and failing, loading and failing. And it took me literally from about 9 o'clock at night, no, probably closer to 8:30 at night until about 2 in the morning when I finally just gave up. It's like, you know what? I'll have to come back to it tomorrow. But I'm glad I did because, yeah, 4 out of 5. I liked it.
Nice. Let's hear
also,
what's up?
Yogi, the secondary author of this map, I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of Yogi maps. I think they're some of the best looking maps out there. Probably second, maybe even third to those like, oh goodness, who made Calmsden?
Oxygen David.
Oxygen David, thank you. Yes. Other map makers like Oxygen David and wow, I'm gonna just completely space out tonight.
The what?
Anyway, anyways, yeah. Anyways, that's yeah. I just wanted to throw that out there. Yogi, really good map maker, very highly detailed, tons of stuff, and you can see it in these screenshots here. Just the amount of details, and a lot of that's because of those required mods.
Ken. Oh my goodness.
Uh-oh.
He says, "What's up, people?" Oh wait, it only me on WillT's side. LOL. Wow. That hurts, man. Uh, let's see here. Well, the next one is going to be Dark Force, the final chapter. This is by MR T-Bone 39 and Shanty Boys. This is
Mr. T-Bone.
32.40 megabytes to download.
So this map originally came out for FS19. It was again reiterated in FS22 and is now finally back here on FS25. And when I tell you, I love this version. I mentioned in my map tour that I feel like this map has really kind of matured over the years. And it's one of those where it was very kind of basic. I don't want, basic is an unfair way of categorizing it. It was very kind of straightforward for a forestry map. Then it just kind of got a little bit more detailed, a little bit more intricate in 22. But now there's so many details that are available for this version in 25. I love how Mr. T-Bone, he essentially took the base sawmill from Riverbend, and he basically applied the terrain to conform to that sawmill. It was really an interesting take on it. And then he's got his own like custom mill pond and all that stuff to go with it. I mean, just all these. What's that?
Oh no! So I looked over and I realized that it wasn't even showing on my screen.
Whoops.
So I fixed it. We're good.
Nice. But no, I mean, it's one of those where the map also feels huge, absolutely huge, because this is a forestry map. I qualified this as a forestry map, even though it's got some fields associated to it. It feels huge because it's one of those maps because it's such a thick forestry area that you have to slink through the road network that's supplied for you. You can attempt to go through and cut through the map, but you're most likely going to smack into about 300 trees along the way, if you're trying to travel as the crow flies. So, yeah, it feels huge. It's got tons of forestry work, so if you're a big forestry person, then this is going to be in the map for you. Mr. T-Bone did a fantastic job on this map. And I also gave it a 4 out of 5.
Something. Where is it? There it is. All right. I mean, I'm not big into forestry maps, so
And normally I'm not like huge into just like strict forestry maps, but there's something about this one that just has an appeal to it, to where it's almost like a more involved No Man's Land. But like I said, it also feels matured. Like I've seen the iterations from 19 to 22 to 25 because that's when I started was in 19. So I've touched every single version that this map has been, and this one it's just grown year after year after year, and I love it. I just think that it's really cool, and you can see just the kind of additional knowledge that's been gained over the years.
yeah.
Now, just real quick, do you mind if I go through the chat just real fast?
Yeah, you're all good.
So, Jonah starts us off with 1.3. 1.3, no! That's good. That's a good way to describe how this past couple of weeks has gone there, Jonah. That's a good way. Jody, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Says hi. Jody also says good day. Very glad to hear it. Nacho Cast. Evening, kids. Evening, Nacho. How's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Jody says playing on Dark Forest tonight. Very nice. Just as we're talking. Luke Marshall, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Says hello, BDD, and hello, Jody. Jody says hi to Luke. We got Farmer Groot in the chat there. Says I am Groot. Luke says hello, Farmer Groot. Groot says hello to Luke. And Samuel says, hey, BDD, y'all. Hey there, Samuel. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. And that's it.
All right, perfect. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Mac R. This is by Raleigh Christie 1 VS Modding, sir. This is going to be 18 megabytes to download flat. I passed on this one.
See, I really liked it, but it was for stupid, superficial reasons. I will wholeheartedly admit. Hey, I will admit my shortcomings. I have no problem with that. I loved the American flag right there in the middle of this screenshot right there with the eagle in the background. I like it. I just think that's a cool little look. But you look at it, and it's the old. I think it's 1966. I mean, it's just an old semi truck, and I love the design of it. I think it looks, just like, let's get this work done, and I like it.
Right.
So, and 18 megabytes to install. It's not a bad file size. 500 horsepower, 79,000 to buy. When you're looking at our kind of closest comparables, I mean, what you're talking. I mean, we got the Anthem 6x4 at 93,500. This is 79,000, so it's going to save you money right off the bat. And for 18 megabytes to install, not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad at all. I don't typically usually install their stuff, but I have my own reasons why.
Sure.
Next one is going to be the Randon Dumper retro trim. This is by AgroMods. It's going to be 35.85 megabytes to download. I passed on this.
So same here, but it is a good high quality mod. I do like the way that this particular mod looks. But I mean, all in all, it's a trailer, and typically what I look for in my trailers is $1,000 per 1,000 liters. That's first and foremost. So right now, this is 70,000 with the dolly hitch for 35,000 liters. That automatically fails. That's like $2,000 per 1,000 liters.
Yeah.
So right there, right off the rip, it's kind of a shame. And then 35.85 megabytes to install this on top of it. Again, it's super highly detailed. You can see all the pin hitching and the pull bars, like all these different keys and details that are available on this. It's a great looking mod, but for me personally, I'm going to pass on it just because of the size and the price.
Right. Even though I think it's funny because that's the highest rated equipment / tool that we got last week. Well, for what day was that? That was on the 10th, which was on Thursday. Yeah, it was. Wow, time flies. So the next one is going to be the Romanco Spring Expert by JMZ. This is going to be 13.71 megabytes to download. This actually is a cultivator and a weeder.
Very, very nice. So yeah, it's got multiple functions, which I absolutely love. 14 megabytes to install and $13,000 to buy. So I mean, all in all, that's kind of a win-win-win right off the bat. And if we take a look, this technically comes up under mulchers according to the categorization here, but I mean, yeah, you say it was a cultivator as well, right? Yeah, cultivation immediately. Yeah. So we'll just take a look at our cultivators as kind of a fair-ish comparison. 7.5 meters, which means that it puts it into the K-Brand Prolander and Horsch Tiger territory. So not too bad company to keep right there. This is $13,000. Let's just take this as just a straight cultivator, right? $13,000 to buy. The K-Brand, which is the cheaper of the two at 7.5 meters, is $50,000. Right there, right off the rip, you're talking for a cultivator, this is miles away for the size. You're spending cheap bucks. But then you're throwing in a mulcher on top of it. Download this all day, every day.
Right. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Valtini Ripper 5500. This is by the SMI modding team. This is going to be 5.40 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $16,400. You have a required horsepower of 180. I'm working with 5 meters. I mean, it's not awful. It's very highly detailed.
very, very highly detailed. 6 megabytes to install, 16, almost 17 grand to buy. Not that bad, and consider it's 5 meters wide, so it's actually on par with the Alpago K Extreme 11500. So this is $16,400. The Alpago is $31,500 for the same exact working width. Now, it also looks like that kind of gives you the cultivation look on the back of this as well for the K Extreme. But, I mean, all in all, this is going to be a solid install. And you can put it in front of, let's say another implement that's 5 meters, like your Power Harrows or anything like that. So looks like it also pairs with a specific team, a specific mod that may be coming at another time, possibly, or has already.
It's in testing right now.
It's in there you go. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be a part of that kind of group. And I'm sorry, but is there anybody else that looks at SMI modding and just like thinks of Shmee from Hook?
Oh.
Come on. I cannot be the only one here.
No.
Smee, who's gonna look after Smee? Wait, Smee is me.
No. Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry, but Bob Hoskins, rest his soul, was an amazing actor. He was so good.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be 2-hitch drop spreader. This is by Dogface. As always, I love the name. Let's see here. It's going to be 3.15 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $8,400, working with 3 meters. You have a capacity between 1,500 and 2,000 liters. And it does dry fertilizer and lime.
So, I love this. I think this is probably one of the coolest and most unique items that we have available for us. The reason I like it so much is it, one, can basically make any piece of equipment into a dual purpose set of equipment. So if you've got, let's say, actually this is a good example right here on the page here. So you can see how there's what appears to be possibly a cultivator on the front, the drop spreader on the front of that, then the tractor, then the drop spreader again, and then another piece of equipment. If you can daisy chain everything together, you can get everything done in one pass. Same thing with like doing like seeding and stuff. If you have a seeder that can connect to the 3-point hitch and is 3 meters wide, now, yeah, this is only 3 meters and that's all fine and dandy. But I mean, I don't know. I just think that's a really kind of a unique way to kind of go about things. And for $8,400, it's super cheap. 2,000 liters of capacity, which isn't that bad considering that the Amazon ZATS 3200 has 3,200 liter capacity. So my guess is that this is likely going to use the fertilizer and lime significantly slower because you're going at 3 meters instead of 42 meters. So
right.
That's going to be my guess. And you're going to get the opportunity to get more jobs done in a single pass. So I like it. For 3.15 megabytes to install and $8,400 to buy, you're talking that's only like $6,000 more than the Salac. I mean, I think it's a win.
Yeah, I was definitely very intrigued by that when it came out. I mean, I didn't get it, but definitely intrigued me, though.
I just like the idea that you can hook, I mean, at bare minimum, hook up 2 of these, and just like the picture here, have maybe lime on the front, fertilizer on the back. Or vice versa. Right. You can do exactly as this picture here. You can put down your first state of fertilizer, your lime, in one pass, get that done, and then if you've got like a seeder with fertilizer in it, boom, you've got all 3 passes done, and you basically saved yourself a step. Now again, yeah, it's only going at 3 meters, which that stinks, but I mean the working speed on it is what, like, of course it doesn't tell me. Anyways, I don't know what the working speed is, but it can't be that slow.
Right. Who knows?
What were you giggling about?
Oh no, now I was giggling because because I said it, I was like, well, who knows? I started laughing. Let's see here. It's 3 meter shenanigans.
3 meter shenanigans.
Let's see here. This one is gonna be the K brand Citra pack. This is by Matt26. This is gonna be 10.99 megabytes to download.
So seeders and subsoilers, that's pretty much what this pack is holding. And all in all, I like it. It's, if I remember right, this was original to FS19, if I'm not mistaken. And I really liked it because it, again, anytime you can get the kind of equipment that allows you to do multiple jobs in single pass is a total win for me. So you've got the seeders, you've got the subsoilers, doing the job all at once. You're able to just rip and go. I like it. I think it's a good one. And for what, 11 megabytes to install, you're talking not that expensive to purchase either, because you got the subsoiler $8,000, and you got either the first seeder for 26,500 or the second one for 38,000, 3 and 4 meters
Right.
respective. I mean, I think it's a win. I think it's a win.
I passed on it, but let's see here. Next one is going to be the Code Garant PTR pack. This is by Rick Black LaBelle and Marseille 3001 TWD modding. And it is 43.55 megabytes to download. It's 2 slurs. Slurry tankers. I mean, I love doing slurry, but I passed on these. I'm waiting for the Velmetal bag to come out.
Yeah, this is a hard pass for me. 43.55 megabytes to install, so 44 megs just for, a couple of tankers and some spreaders. Like, no, thank you. I mean, you're talking $129,000 for 20,000 liters. So if we take a look, I mean, what did I say? 20,000 liters is the capacity. Yeah. Okay, so you're talking Coeco Profi 2 territory. All right, now this is where it really should sink in, right? 20,000 liters for the Coeco. 129,000 for the Garrett. The Coeco, 60,500. That's it. 60,500. That is nuts. Now I know people are going to say this, and I don't blame them. The Coeco doesn't have the drip spreader as a standard. It just has the attacher, so that's why it's half the price. Yes, this is true, but with the power of mods and stuff like that, we are able to get stuff that is cheaper. Now, if we want to be kind of more fair, then we go with the Flegel. The Flegel PFW 1800 Maxline Plus, but still, that's 18,000 liters for $102,000. It's still 20 plus grand cheaper for the Flegel than it is for this one here. So 44 megabytes to install and an extra 20 grand. No, thank you.
No, thank you. Hard pass. Let's see here. Next one is going to be Crone Trailer Pack. This is by MW Micah 3615. This is going to be 39.82 megabytes to download. It's powered by Modding Wall, if anyone was wondering. That's who it is. But, I mean, it is a really good trailer. Don't get me wrong. It looks really good. But it's going to be a pass for me.
Hard pass. Yeah, hard pass. Again, like you said, a very nice looking trailer. It's got that old school look to it that I really, really like. But the problem with this is that it's 40 megabytes for a trailer. And again, you're looking at the 1,000 liters per $1,000 rule. And it completely destroys that. The HKD 302 on this is $25,000. I believe the smallest one that you can get, or smallest price, is 18,000 liters. So you're already blowing it out of the water just from that one there. But then you throw in an extra 40 megabytes to install trailers. I mean, yeah, it does way more than just being trailers. It takes trailering to the next level. You know, it does your typical grain trailers, it does logging, it does bales, it does auto load. All that stuff is fine and dandy, but I just can't get over it. Sorry, it's a pass for me.
Oh yeah, 100%. Let's see. Your next one is going to be Lizard Caravan 522 Up. This is by WolfX Modding. This is going to be 3.78 megabytes to download. This, to me, has got to be one of the useless mods ever. This is not camping farm. This is not camping simulator. This is farming simulator.
See, again, this is one of those mods, though, that if you're, like, a creator or something, like, if you're a YouTuber like myself or something, like, I can understand why these mods exist, but it's just one of those where it's going to have a very hyper-specific use case. Like, I don't imagine a whole heck of a lot of people who are just kind of here to play the game and enjoy themselves are really going to utilize this outside of like the YouTuber crowd, the Twitcher crowd, like people out there who are actually creating content, you know, to utilize things like this. I just don't see it. So it's one of those where I understand and appreciate it being here. I just it's not something that I'm going to like go run out and grab. Now, in all fairness, 4 megabytes to install and 35,000 to buy, that's actually not that bad. So I would not balk too hard over the fact that, okay, this is existing, this is out there, and I can go install it and have a series revolve around this kind of thing. I think that's kind of cool. But again, hyper specific, hyper use case would be a pass under most circumstances.
The only way I can see someone using this is if you take this and then you take like that, was it a sleeper pack or whatever this thing is? I think Omatana, it was Omatana or CB who dropped. I think it was Omatana, but it had a doormat with it. Just put that in front of it and there you go, start from scratch. You know, like,
now see,
like I mean,
go ahead.
That I can see, but other than that, I don't find a use for that.
See, I could see this being like next level good. Like this would be something I would actually install if this happened. If they were able to figure out how to put a sleep trigger and wardrobe trigger inside of this and still making it mobile. If they could do that, then this would be the next level. This would be really, really good. But as it just stands right now, with it not being a sleep trigger, a wardrobe trigger, or anything along those lines, it's just deco.
Yep, that's all it is.
And again, I understand and I appreciate it being here. It's a nice looking mod. Don't get me wrong. Like, I think it's a really cool thing, but it's going to have hyper specific uses.
100%. All right, let's see here. Next one is going to be the Ella Toltarki winter equipment. I think that's how you pronounce it. This is by EN Design. It's going to be 16.62 megabytes to download. And this is a brand new brand into the game, actually.
So this one in particular, just like any of our kind of winter packs and things like that, I appreciate that it's a new brand, and I appreciate that it definitely has like the kind of nice looking like features to it. It looks hyper detailed. But at the end of the day, it's a plow and a snowblower. I mean, again, I appreciate them being here, but it's a plow and a snowblower. You're going to have hyper-specific use cases, and I don't know too many people who are sitting there like, oh yeah, let me go get the plow and go plow out the roadway here on Farming Simulator, you know? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's plenty of people out there who are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get the plow, I'm gonna keep myself busy during these winter months kind of thing. I get that. But it's just one of those, like, for me personally, I'm not going to spend the money. I'm not going to spend the 10 grand or in this case almost 20 grand for the plow and 10 grand for the blower. It just doesn't seem like it's like a good use of money in game, especially when you're first starting out and money's really tight.
See, for me, if I want to do any snow removal, I'll just use base game stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And save the 17 megabytes to install and, do something else with it.
Now, this next one, on the other hand, this one I find is a game changer. So the next one is going to be movable shelf and bench pack. This is by Biggins. This is gonna be 14.28 megabytes to download. This, I mean, I didn't grab it, but this is insanely awesome because basically it's almost like a portable workshop trigger. I mean, yes, when you leave the game and come back, it will be right where you placed it. But you can basically move the whole bench around, like wherever you need it to go.
Yeah, I love it when modders do stuff like this, when they make it to where the mod itself is kind of portable. You're able to bring it around to different places. Like there was the modder last year who made the duffel bag, and it was a sleep trigger and wardrobe trigger.
Schultz modding.
There you go. And like things like that is just really cool. You can pick it up, you can take it anywhere around the map, and there you got your sleep trigger and wardrobe trigger. That's why I was saying before, that's what kind of popped in my head in regards to that camper mod that we just discussed. But I mean, you got something like this where it's just essentially just a portable workshop trigger. I love that. I absolutely love it. So where if you can't place it too well, or if you want to just kind of simulate that you bought it, it was delivered, and now you get to kind of move it in place kind of thing, that's cool too. Again, it offers different possibilities for you, and it's nice. For 15 megabytes to install, you've got all these different styles of benches and kind of clutter bins and all this stuff. Like, it's just, it's cool. I like it. So definitely would install this.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be Pig Barn Large. This is by Maforky.
What do you call me?
Maforky.
How dare you?
I'm going to fork thee.
Hey, now. Oh.
No, okay. So, real quick, that reminds me earlier. So Bree was cooking dinner, and then, of course, once she's done, she comes over and she says, she serves me my food. And I look at her, I put my fork, I literally put my fork towards her. She goes, "What?" And I'm like, I'm going to fork thee. Boom, boom.
Jeez. Let me catch up with the chat here just real quick. So we got Luke Marshall said, "I'm also playing on Dark Forest." Very nice, Luke. And Luke with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Luke. I greatly appreciate it. NachoCast says, #Luke. Got Jody says, "I love the Dark Forest. It's one of my favorite maps." It's a great map. It legit is a really, really good map. I love seeing it just mature over the years. Like, that's the best word I can come up with that map in particular, because I've been a part of it, all the iterations that it's been a part. And just seeing it kind of go from, one to the next, and seeing what is along with it. And it's just grown every single time. I love being a part of that journey, and I love seeing how it's gone from kind of a more simplistic version to all of a sudden now it feels like we've got like the Mac Daddy version. I love it. I absolutely love it. Jody's Farming with Outlaw. How's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Says, "Hi everyone. How's everyone doing?" Doing fantastic, Outlaw. Hope you're having a fantastic day as well. Benji, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says, "Wow, what is going on?" All sorts of stuff. All sorts of shenanigans. Nacho says, "Bark bark," and Benji, "Woof woof." Nacho says, "I want the front mount Tedder. Yes. I want the things too. Joseph, how's it going, Joseph? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says, "I like to use the camper on the start from scratch on a forestry map, very specific, and only until I can afford to buy and build a house." Yeah, exactly. It's one of those where the camper would be good if it was a sleep trigger. It'd be perfect then. Especially if you can move it around and do everything that you did with a camper. But like I said, without that function, I'm just going to do exactly what you're saying, is just use the trailer and kind of go from there. And Pippa, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic night so far. Says hi BDD and WillTGaming.
What up?
And that is everything.
Perfect. All right. So I was saying that so this one is a pig barn large. Say that 5 times fast. It's gonna be a 5.91 megabytes to download. It is a 25 by 50 meters. The price tag is $164,000. Capacity is 450 pigs. I like this. I don't really do pigs, but I like this.
I like this a lot too. 6 megabytes to install, so it's not that large. It has $164,000 price tag, and 450 pigs can be stored here. The closest comparable we have is the Horman Pigsty Large. Now, for the same exact price, $164,000, you only have room in this pig barn for 275 pigs. So just base, you're already increasing your capacity by almost 200 pigs. So same price and almost double the capacity. I mean, come on, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. And 6 megabytes to install, and it looks good. It actually looks really, really good. It's a full enclosed building. I like it. I think it's a good one.
Yeah. Let's see. Next one is going to be Small Old Cow Pasture. This is by Blodzigo and Netrex Zero. Some really weird author names, if you ask me. This is me 2.64 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $15,000. This is very unique, honestly. I mean, if you're trying to start out small, this is perfect.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I really like this. 3 megabytes to install, so like next to nothing in the ways of size, and 15 grand. Now I don't know capacities or anything like that because it doesn't list it here in the description. So I mean, it's one of those that the cheapest cow pasture that we have is the cow pasture at $15,000. So this is exactly the same as the cow pasture here in base game. Now, even if this does, let's say, exactly the same amounts and all that stuff, it's at bare minimum, it's a different way of doing or a different look to your cow pasture at the end of the day. So I think that's nice. I like that. So yeah, I think that for 3 megabytes and 15 grand, it's worth it.
Oh yeah. Let's see here. Next one is gonna be Fish Farming. This is by Gwendol. It'll be 13.27 megabytes to download. This is very unique though. It's something different.
I really like Gwendol as a creator. I think that Gwendol comes up with some really good, kind of off the wall kind of content for Farming Simulator, and I think it's very much because of New Lands that I'm such a big fan of them. Now, this one is a really good example of that kind of off the wall kind of thing. It's a fish farm, but it's a part of the production chain. So it's really kind of an interesting kind of thing. So for 14 megabytes to install, it's next to nothing when it comes to all the detail that's a part of this particular mod. You get a selling station, you get the whole building itself, and the building is absolutely massive. I mean, it's huge. I think it's a really interesting kind of concept to be able to put in, you got your inputs of maize, soybeans, wheat, and mineral feed, and then you get fish. I mean, it's just a cool little thing. And yeah, at the end of the day, I think that Gwendol comes up with some really, really good stuff, and I think this is no exception.
I think it's funny because I was watching Andy Farm's mod video on this. And as soon as he got to this one, he like right before he was finished, he ended up jumping up like on top of that white area, where you dump the feed into.
Mm-hmm.
He jumped up in there and he goes, "Oh look, fish! Oh wait, they're all dead." Because they weren't moving. They're just floating there.
I don't know. It's just, I think this is just a really kind of an interesting idea. And what really kind of made me like really like really enjoy Gwendol as a creator, like I said, was New Lands. And New Lands was the first map that I really kind of interacted with where it wasn't farming simulator, but it wasn't outside of the realm of farming simulator. It's weird to kind of explain, but for those who have not played New Lands, it's essentially you don't start out as a farmer. You start out as almost a government employee who's responsible for kind of maintaining the general landscape of a highway. Those are your contracts. It's a lot of mowing. It's tons of mowing. More than half of the map is forestry. And then you got this town, and with some of the later updates, pretty much every single house and sell point turned into a production chain and made it to where you were producing things like slurry from all the homes, and you were responsible for going around and collecting the slurry. And the slurry was basically just, waste from the homes themselves. Trash, you'd go and pick up the trash. So you're basically like the local municipality, and you're responsible for doing stuff. I just think that was a really interesting kind of take to use Farming Simulator as the backbone for the game. And I think this is another kind of a good example of kind of the jumping off of Farming Simulator to where it's just disconnected enough from Farming Simulator, but still rooted into the game itself. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it does. All right, let's see here. Next one is going to be Old State Agriculture Farm Silos. This is by Raider. It's 39.11 megabytes to download. So you do have, let's see here, you do have a silo that's $127,000. The capacity is 950,000 liters. And then you have silos. The silos used to store seed and sell fertilizer. $15,000 to buy. Capacity is 50,000 liters. And then you have an old Polish silage silo. That's going to be a price tag of $45,000. This is a pass for me.
Hard pass, but very, very hard to pass on it. Like it's a hard pass only because it's the file size, almost 40 megabytes to install. So right there for just a few silos and stuff. But the reason that it's so difficult to pass on this is because they look so good. They got the kind of flower boxes that are built into the siding of them. Like, it's a great looking mod, and you can see where that 40 megabytes is coming from. But it's 40 megabytes for a set of silos. So all in all, I just can't.
Right. That was a pass for me too. So your next one is be multi-crop greenhouses. This is by GH66 Mods. This is gonna be 24.14 megabytes to download. This was a pass for me.
So 25 megabytes to install. It's a bit high on the download count, but if you're looking to be able to kind of take a crack at some of the crops that you may not normally be able to get your hands on, or you just don't want to take the time, such as potatoes or cotton or parsnips, things that are going to take a really, really long time, you just don't want to dedicate the time to it, but you still want to get it as a product, you can use this, and it's a really nice alternative. Now, the only thing that I don't really care for is that you have to kind of use these as a kind of grouping almost. So you've got like the individual products that you can make, which is fine, but you can also kind of tag these together with all other recipes. So it's one of those where the various styles that you're going to be able to do, how do I say this? The various recipes that you can make like they'll tend to, and I find that this happens with most greenhouses. I've yet to see this like kind of break the mold with any of them. But if you try and do all these different recipes to make, like in this case, I got this screenshot that shows barley, corn, cotton, oats, sorghum. If you try to do all of these at the same time, it really messes with like how much is being produced at any given time. Like it
Right.
slashes the recipe speeds, or it does something really kind of wonky. So you basically have to dedicate one crop per house kind of thing in order to get the full production speed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I'm not going crazy. Like that's not just something I think I'm noticing.
Oh yeah. No.
Okay. So yeah, so when you got all these different combinations of things, like it just makes it to where you have to, basically dedicate the greenhouse to that one product line to be able to get the full utilization out of it. And it's kind of a bummer, but I also, it is what it is kind of thing. So I like it, and it's a bit rich, but I would install this. I'd be fine with that.
Let's see here. Next one is gonna be Polish '80s farmhouse. This is, I'm not gonna even try to pronounce that.
Whoo! Beto no wa whoa. Beto no nawi locus. Beto.
I don't know. Whatever. But it's 20.
I feel like I want to read that and then say bless you afterwards.
Better last coach.
Gesundheit.
Let's see here. So this is gonna be 20.68 megabytes to download. Price tag $87,500. This is a hard pass.
Yeah. 21. You can't go in it. 21 megabytes to install and $87,500 to buy. I mean, it looks nice, but I don't know. It just, that's a high megabyte.
Megabytes.
Yeah, that's a high megabyte for a house, that you can't go into. So, all in all, I'm just gonna pass.
Next one is going to be Workshop. This is by Radx Games. This is going to be 6 megabytes to download. Price tag is $12,000. And get ready for it. Get ready for it. Ready? 31 slots.
Ooh, wow. That's a lot of slots, but that's a lot of detail. I mean, you look at these screenshots and it's just ridiculous. You got the ivy growing on the side of the building. You got the planted flowers on the side of it. I mean, you've got, what else? Ivy on the side. You got the wood pile. You got the tires. Tons and tons and tons of detail on this building, inside and out. So, I mean, all in all, yeah, it's 6 megabytes to install, but that slot count is a lot. But
yeah, you can see where it's going.
You can absolutely see where it's going. So, all in all, I'd be okay with it. I would install this.
Pass. Let's see here. Next one is going to be Grain Dryer Pack. This is by Cartech. What is he, a Cartech in real life? Yeah.
Anything's possible.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, it kind of sounds like you're coughing it, like Cartech, Let's see here. This is going to be 44.03 megabytes to download. This is a big pack.
It is a very large install. 45 megabytes to install. And yeah, it's one of those that for me personally, I'm going to just hard pass right off the rip. But it's one of those where I can understand why people would uninstall this. It's a cool little concept at the end of the day. Being able to take your wet, crops from the field and be able to put it into the dryer. I just think that's a really cool, and it's very highly detailed. There's a ton of stuff going on here. Big pack, lots of things to install, so it makes sense that it's a high megabyte to install. But for me personally, I don't need to dry my crop that badly. Right. I can leave it a little damp.
Right. Leave it normal. Let's see here. Next one is going to be double weigh station. This is by Raider. It's going to be 27.36 megabytes to download. Price tag is $48,000. It's a weighing station.
It's a weighing
That's all
station.
it is.
28 megabytes to install.
Yeah. Pass.
Yeah. 48,000 to buy. I mean, I've never had the desire to build up a place where I felt like I needed a weighing station. That's number one. But then a 28 megabyte weigh station, I just don't get me wrong. Again, I can see the detail, I can see the work, and it looks good. Like, it does look good. But at the end of the day, it's a weigh station, and this, if I was on PC, this would be something that I would install because I could get a bit of that immersion into the game. And as a PC player, I know everybody's laughing at me right now saying, "Ah ha ha, you have to worry about megabytes," and just chuckling and laughing. But at the end of the day, I do have to worry about megabytes, and yeah, this is one where I just can't justify spending the disk space.
Right. I hear that. I mean, even on PC, I didn't get this, so don't worry about it. Let's see here. Next one's going to be Small Bunker Silo Pack. Ooh, all right. So this is by Bloodsigo, Zero Net Rex Zero, and Mario.
It's me, Mario.
This is me 5.52 megabytes.
Deep, dee, 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 dee.
Boing boing. It's going to be 5.52 megabytes to download. So you have the Small Bunker Silo, price tag of $5,500, and a tire silo, price tag $3,500. This is a hard pass for me, though.
I mean, for 6 megabytes to install, and you're talking relatively cheap silos, I mean, it's not bad, but you can see just the amount of bleeding just in the screenshots that's here. So, yeah, this would be a hard pass. I mean, you can just see. That's just really bad. That's really bad to have that in your screenshot like that.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that would be a hard pass just for that reason alone. Now, it makes sense for the tires. The tires would make sense that you get that bleeding.
Right.
But, I mean,
not the other one.
And I can see it. I can literally see it right here. It's right there.
Yeah.
What is that?
What is that? What's wrong? All right, let's see here. Next one is going to be Hotel. This is by Namog Mod.
Welcome to the Hotel California.
This is going to be 16.32 megabytes to download.
Such a lovely place.
Price tag is $580,000. But the maximum profit per month is $60,624.
So 17 megabytes to install, $580,000 to buy, but you're getting a payout of a maximum 60 grand. If you're into generators, this is a nice one because it's going to make you a lot of money. But me personally, I'm not into the generators like this. I prefer those slow burn generators. Like the perfect example would be like the little electrical windmills. I love the ones where it was like the homemade version where they took the barrels, the drums, cut them in half and let them catch the wind and stuff like that. I thought that was like really cool. So it was just like a small generator, so it wasn't like gonna completely tip the scales of me making money for that month kind of thing.
Right.
60 grand. I mean, you're talking for 60 grand, you can get yourself a really nice set of equipment for $60,000. Like you can get yourself a small tractor for $60,000. like okay, I'll put it to you this way. This is how much that could potentially pay out. You could get a John Deere 3650 every single month. Every month. And still have $15K left over.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
So for me personally, this is a pass. But for those who like generators, who'd like to be able to build up to this, then yeah, this is gonna be a good one for you. Just not for me.
Right. Now the next one, I'm going to bring this up because so this is an update. So this is for Rotmer Island. This is by Marnuax Mapping. It's
What'd you call me?
170. It's going to be 170.55 megabytes to download. The only reason why I bring this up is because changelog 1.0.1.0 council release and unable to sell bunker cells at starter farm fixed. New needs a new save game. Though this is new for all platforms.
So apparently I was either really, really tired or just am really, really dumb. I hope it's not the latter. But I was calling this Rottimer. Or no, I was calling it something completely different in my map tour. So it was just kind of out of left field. I think it was calling like Rotterer or Rotmer. Or I was calling it something way off. So I caught it right in the middle of my editing, and it's like, wait a minute, that's not the name of it. Go back, and it's like, no, I'm just dumb. So yeah, needless to say, I kind of put up a little flash on the screen. It's like, yes, I acknowledge I got it wrong, but I caught it. I caught it. But no, so again, this is one of those that had a kind of a quick, or not even a quick, because this was released to console. So this was all kind of new to me at the time. This one I gave a 3 out of 5. I think this is kind of a good down the middle kind of map, but it's not my favorite style of map because it's kind of number one, it's an island, so it's already naturally kind of inhibiting the kind of play area that you have. So you've got a lot of small fields and a lot of small kind of workarounds. Now, the one thing I did like was this one detail literally blew my mind. So you start out down here on the kind of pier leading into the island, and right off the pier there are several boats right there on the water. And you actually can watch the boat sway up and down with the waves of the ocean. I thought that was a really kind of a cool detail that was just like, okay, I can see what you're putting in here. But where this one kind of fell off the rails for me was the kind of, number one, there was like 7, 8, or 9 different farms on this map. So it's made for like a multiplayer kind of style.
Right.
But then like the general layout, it's very kind of squared with kind of inlets leading with 2 tracks and all this stuff. So the main road structure is kind of, very kind of blocky kind of thing while being a part of an island and having a kind of a ring road going all the way around it. And then it had all these like hidden pastures and all this stuff. It's not my kind of farming. It's not my kind of thing. So it really kind of missed the mark with me. But I can see the appeal. I can see where people would definitely kind of like this sort of style of map. Just not one for me. So 3 out of 5. I think it was right down the middle. Not good, not bad. It was there. And I again, like every map, I appreciate every map, every mod that comes out. This is definitely one where I'm sure have people coming out there saying, what are you talking about? 3 out of 5? This is a 5 out of 5. Dave, how dare you? Calm down, number 1. Number 2, that's just me.
Yep, that's just your opinion. Let's see here. So the next one is a map update, but this is for Oberschwaben.
Oberschwaben.
It is 350.47 megabytes to download. It is changed 1.0.0.1, and all it is fixed incompatible terrain shader with 1.7, updated by Mod Hub team. So that's all that was for that one. That's a really nice map, though.
It's so I was saying earlier. Yogi, this is the original map that we were talking about earlier for I think it was the North Frisian map. Oberschwaben is a gorgeous map. This one, I believe I gave a 5 out of 5. Yes, 5 out of 5 for Oberschwaben. And again, it's Yogi. Yogi is a fantastic map maker, can make some gorgeous, gorgeous looking maps. And
Oh, yeah.
again, this one is no exception. You got, areas where you got the running, babbling streams. You've got just the various kind of hilly terrains, and just everything on this map is just very meticulous and really kind of thought through. The starting farm was really nice, and I love how they explicitly label the road networks and the different styles of roads that are on the map. So this main yellow band in the middle of the road, or middle of the map, is like the main 2-lane highway. It's all paved, it's nice, it's golden. Then you got the green roads, which are kind of the kind of not main roads, but they're still paved. So it's like a single lane kind of almost country lane kind of thing. And then the pink is like the dirt 2-track kind of, roads that lead to nowhere kind of thing. I just like it. I just think this was a fantastic looking map. And again, Yogi just does something special. Yogi's got the eye. I always talk about the eye, the creative eye. I don't have it. I was never born with it, but Yogi certainly does. And thankfully, they're using it to make us some beautiful maps. Go check this one out.
Me.
5 out of 5.
Like me. No, just kidding.
Just like you. No kidding. Just like you. Dead serious.
And then there was an update that came out for the next ad pack. I did put the change log on my Facebook page. So, so basically what they did, just to summarize it up, they basically fixed a few things. They improved the driving behavior of it, and then they added a MacDon header. So,
ooh, nice.
So that was the 10th. So what was your favorite mod from the 10th?
Oh, well,
Because I know we talked about this.
I would have to say that one of my favorites for that day would probably be, probably the Dark Forest. I really liked the Dark Forest, and that one coming out for us on all platforms. I think it was great. Yeah, that's the one I'm going to go with.
For me, it's the pig barn large. That would be for me.
For sure.
Let's see here. Next one. Oh yeah. Weska, Minnesota. This is by Matsy Modding. This is by Trucker Matsy, right?
Chucker Matsy.
And this is gonna be 109.01 megabytes to download. I like this map.
Wasika, Minnesota. This map, I'm actually going to put out a quick update to my map tour. So at the time, I gave it a 3.5. I'm actually going to change it up. I got back on this map, and I was looking around and really kind of taking everything in. And I'm actually going to bump this up, because I said it was a 3.5 approaching a 4. I'm actually going to give it the 4. I'm going to give it a 4. After getting back on it and kind of taking a look around on the map and whatnot, I really like this map. It's the first American map that I can think off the top of my head where it's so large and so vast without being boring. And what I mean by that is most American maps, at least the modded American maps, most of the ones that we get are something like, they're very big, they're very wide open, but they're also very flat. And that tends to be the kind of styles that we get. It's very rare that we get a map where it's actually like big, massive fields, while at the same time being unique in shape. You can see the shapes of these. You've got like the little typical L's and the squares and whatnot, but you got all these indentation, you got all these things that are kind of impeding onto almost every single one. There's no square, there's no just simple like farmland or anything like that. There's about 8 or so different farms that you can start out with. And again, just the natural undulations all throughout the landscape is absolutely gorgeous. And the only thing that I'm not a huge fan of is the kind of all the sell points, all the productions, all the everything's being in one area on the kind of northwest corner of the map. That's the only thing I'm not really huge about. But I actually got a message from Matsy Modding, also known as Trucker Matsy, and this is based off of a real area that they grew up in. So that's it. Just kind of makes it feel more real. And from what I understand, if I understood the message correctly, the kind of northwest area, that whole kind of, that's an actual like town representation of a town. Now that's obviously some general liberties that are taken because there's only so much you can do with the mods and the models and stuff like that for that area, and you're having to take some like kind of general kind of buildings up kind of thing in order to get the map to be fully functional. But I love it. I really think this is a solid map, a solid American map. And yeah, this would be one that would be a ton of fun to play on. Absolutely a ton of fun.
Yeah, my favorite farm was the one with like the huge log cabin house, and like the cow barn was down underneath, so you actually had to like drive down a hill and you get anywhere there.
Yep. And that was the other thing too, is these kind of pig barns that are in the middle of the map. There's two giant pig barns, and each one of them has their own like unique little button system. Right here. So inside you have two little buttons that you can go and push. One turns on the fan, and the other one I think raises and lowers the fencing within the kind of pasture itself. Not pasture, but like inside the barn kind of thing. I mean, it's a cool little model. It's a cool little thing. And again, it's got all these cool little features all throughout the map. Just, again, it's so rare that we get a American map that isn't just flat, boring, squared off fields. This is a welcome addition to the game. And yeah, I really like it. Trucker Matsy did a fantastic job with this.
And also those pig barns. Those are by Schultz Modding, and they are coming as placeables. I think they're with Giants right now.
Nice.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Case Quadtrack AFS Connect. This is by Hans. It's going to be 37.77 megabytes to download.
I
like this.
Love it. It's 38 megabytes, so it's really, really large. But I'm a Case guy. I mean, this is one of those where it kind of breaks the rules for me. I typically look for tractors that are under 25 megabytes and all these kind of like provisos. This is one of those that I will allow to break my rules because I'm a fan of Case. So right off the bat, $506,000, for 524 horsepower. Looking at our kind of comparables, we do have the Case Steiger 715 quad track. Base power band on that one's the 778. This one is kind of the baby brother to the one we have in base game.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's nice. It's a cool little in-betweensy between like the Case Magnum and the Case Steiger 715. It's, you know what? We'll call it the middle brother of the family. So, I mean, 506,000 versus a 685,000 starting price for the base Steiger there. I just like it. I think that this is a really nice tractor, and yeah, it's solid. I like it.
Oh yeah. Next one is the Zetter TKL81 Turbo. This is by WolfX Modding, aka Weibel Modding. It's gonna be 5.90 megabytes to download. This was a pass for me.
So if you're into forestry, I can see this one being kind of a nice little mod because it's essentially it's a winch. I mean, that's essentially what it is. It's a, what do they call them? Like a yarder. It just kind of tugs around your logs from point A to point B. That's basically all it does. So it's nice if you're into forestry. If you're not into forestry, then this is a hard pass. But I mean, for 6 megabytes to install and $45,000 to buy, it's one of those that, yeah, this could be a nice little welcome addition for anybody who likes to do forestry, especially anybody who likes to do like the dark forest or anything along those kind of lines. This is going to be a good
60,
one. What's that?
60 tons this can winch up to.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this thing will haul quite a bit. So that's so to kind of give you a little behind the scenes. When I was doing my series there on Riverbend Springs, I was going insane with a couple of issues that I ran across. So over on our new expansion farm that JP and I made, I ended up cutting down a couple of trees, but they were just outside of what was considered the playable area of the map. You could cut them down, you can interact with them, they were no issue, but I couldn't retrieve them. And they were just stuck there. I couldn't do anything with them. And I was hoping that I could have some kind of winch or some kind of something to be able to just pull them into the playable area.
Right.
I couldn't do it. There was nothing strong enough. This may have done it.
Right.
I just wish that this was there, because I tell you what, it was nothing worse than going to your starting farm and seeing two or three dead trees on the outer perimeter of the entirety of the map that you can't do anything with. And they were standing vertically too. So it was like I cut them down, but they're just kind of stuck there, but they're dead. So I can't do anything with them.
Oh man, that stinks. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the JCB Hydro Dig 110W. This is by Ross and Mods. This is going to be 31.24 megabytes to download. This is a pass for me.
Hard pass. Again, it's one of those that's so hyper specific that it's, unless you're a JCB fan and unless you want to kind of do things just a little bit different, you want to be the not the cool kid but the unique kid, then this is going to be the one for you. But for 32 megabytes to install, I mean, essentially all you're getting is a backhoe. That's essentially what this is. It's just a little, just a little front scooper, and there you go. And yeah, it's a hard pass for me, especially when you consider that it's almost 200 grand to purchase just the machine itself, and then it's like 5 to 10 grand for the components. So yeah, at the end of the day, hard pass.
Oh yeah, I agree 100%. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Lizard YT193. This is by Pascal Kultz. This is going to be 7.90 megabytes to download. This is a pass for me.
So this one, if I remember this correctly, this is the one where you could actually raise and lower the receiving hitch for your actual I'll just call it a semi, but it's basically, that's basically what it is. It's basically a semi truck.
Yeah.
But just one of those where, again, it's just so hyper specific as to what it is. Now, 8 megabytes, that's not that bad for this kind of model. And if you're looking for something unique, it's not going to be that bad on the megabytes, and it's not going to be that bad on the price. You know, you're talking, 63,000. But you're only talking 195 horsepower. So this thing is meant to just kind of chug things around and position them in the yard. It's not meant for like cross country and stuff like that. It's meant to be like transport
like
within
yard.
Yeah, like within a truck yard, exactly. So again, hyper specific, but not high in the megabytes, not high in the price. So I could see there being a use case, but it's very specific to where most times I'm going to pass.
Oh yeah, I agree. Let's see, your next one is be the Lizard Pentaline. Yeah, Pentaline. This is by Surfer Text. This is going to be 41.69 megabytes to download. You basically have different seaters. So you have a 2.26 meter. You have a 3.1 meter. Not a 3 meter, 3.1. And
The
then
point one of meter better.
yeah, and then you have 4.04 meters. Then you have 4.96 meters, and then you have a 5.96 meters. This is a pass for me, though.
Yeah, same here. I mean, again, considering 42 megabytes to install, and yeah, you get several seeders and all that stuff. Yeah, that's all fine and dandy, but again, it's not a brand that I'm particularly, loyal to. I mean, it's a Lizard, but it's, off of a real life brand. But I mean, we've got so many other seeders that really just doesn't make me want to waste the space for 42 megabytes to install all these different styles of seeders. I mean, it's one thing if this was, going to do some extra tricks, maybe does the planting crops as well or something along those lines, but I mean, as far as I'm aware, it doesn't do that. This is just a seeder, and yeah, not one that I'm going to go ahead and download. So hard pass.
Yep. Yep. Next one is going to be the Dangerville B10-2. This is by 76 Max. This is going to be 5.53 megabytes to download. Your price tag of $9,800. Capacity: 10 pigs, 5 cows, 10 sheep. This is a pass for me.
I mean, this one I would consider, especially because of its cheap price, its low megabytes to install. I mean, all in all, you're talking, this is like a really good introductory kind of animal transport if you're wanting to get into it a little bit more cheaply. Again, our kind of base model that we have is the Flegel Noah TTW 140. That does 6 cows, 13 pigs, and 13 sheep. So the Flegel does more, but the Dangerville does all that for half the price. $9,800 for the Dangerville, to where the Flegel is $25,000. So you're talking for, what is that? 1 less cow, 3 less pigs, and 3 less sheep. You're spending more than half of the less price for this mod. So all in all, yeah, I think this is a good mod, and this is definitely one that I would and did install.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Auto Load Pack. This is by Raleigh Christie 1 VS Modding Sir. 19.36 megabytes to download. This was a hard pass for me. No, thank you.
See, this is one of those where I like it. I install these because these are the perfect behind the scenes kind of mods to have. It's one of those where whenever you're just kind of running around doing things without being on camera, or you're just wanting to kind of get things done really, really fast, then this is the perfect mod to have because it allows you to just pick up and go. We finally have one of our first auto loads that works with the products, and I love that. 20 megabytes to install, and you're talking $6,500 to purchase. That's nothing when it comes to a price for a trailer that can hold up to 34,000 liters for our products and 40,000 for our palleted goods, like their big bags and stuff. So, I mean, all in all, I love it. I think this is fantastic, and I think it's absolutely worth the install simply because, if you're just the average player and you just want to grab and go, perfect. If you're somebody like me who wants to be able to do this stuff on the fly and just kind of go without having to spend all night going, here you go. This is the perfect solution.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be Self-Made Trailer. This is by Druid04. This is going to be 6.23 megabytes to download. Price tag is $4,000. Capacity is 2,500 liters. Oh. I mean, it's a little trailer.
So it's a little trailer, but it already fails the $1,000 per 1,000 liters. So it's 2,500 liters for $4,000. So already it's a failure on that front. 7 megabytes to install. It's not bad in the file size. it's a nice looking, unique kind of trailer. You know, it's one of those where just somebody slaps some components together and here you are. It's expected to do a job and that's all it is meant to do. I like that. I think it's a nice looking model. It's very simple, just kind of a box with wheels. That's all most people would need. So, and I also got this version here where it's like not just a tipper. It's also something that you can just load your big bag into and take around the farm. This is going to be nice for a small farm. So all in all, I like it. I think it's got its uses, and especially for those kind of small farms, you know, as I can't remember who you say quotes it, but that small farm shenanigan stuff. I think this would be perfect for it.
Andy Farms.
There you go.
Yeah. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Pottinger Servo 25 3+1. This is by DB Modding. This is going to be 2.59 megabytes to download. Price tag is $15,000. You do have a horsepower requirement of 100 and a working width of 1.6 meters. Pass.
Hard pass. Chiselback plow, always going to be a hard pass. So much so that I'm going to, no, God, no, please, no, no. No! For those who remember last week, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. But to do our due diligence, let's take a look at our comparables. 1.6 meters, so it's just a smidge bigger than a Pottinger Servo 25. This is the 25 3+1. So you're talking it's 0.4 meters larger than the base game Pottinger Servo 25. And it's only $1,000 more. So it's kind of that in-betweensy between the Pottinger and the AgriMaz, except, here's the kicker. The Pottinger Servo, like I said, is 0.4 meters smaller, but the AgriMaz POV is almost a full meter bigger. And it's only $1,000 more than the mod here. So I'm going to say skip it, because we got the kind of nice little smaller one and a bigger one, and they're about better priced than this one is per meter. So again, Chiselback plow, save the megabytes always, but this one has practical purpose as well. So
your next one is going to be Pack Bell Fork. This is by David MTNZ. It's going to be 1.27 megabytes to download. Price tag of $1,700. This is a pass for me.
Same. This one, I don't have anything bad to say about it. It's less than 2 megabytes to install. It's $1,700 to buy. I mean, plus you can get up to an extra $500 for the bigger 4-bale. But I mean, all in all, if you're looking for like a little telehandler or just something to slap onto your, it actually looks like it's got front loader, front loader, telehandler, even wheel. So it's got it all. You can do basically everything there. If you're looking for a little bale spike, it looks like it's a decent pricing for it. Let's take a look at our front loader tools just real quick, just to again, due diligence. All right, so we got the bale spike, the Elbit bale spike for $600. That's not too bad, but you figure for an extra, let's see, $2,200, so minus $600, you're talking about $1,400 more. So $1,600. For $1,600 more, you can get 4 bale capacity holders as opposed to the normal one. You might get away with 2, but very, very unsteadily. So all in all, I'm not opposed to this for 2 megabytes to install. Yeah, this would be a good one if you're looking to kind of manually lug around your bales.
Let's see, next one is going to be Forestry Transport Box. This is by Woodcraft Modding. This is 2.76 megabytes to download. Price tag of $2,450. Capacity 1,800 liters. This is very neat because you can actually put your chainsaw in the right side, and on the left side you could put all your spray cans.
It's definitely interesting. And 3 megabytes to install and $2,500 to buy, it's really not that intrusive in the size or the price. What I don't understand is the capacity. Like, is this also not a bucket, but like a plow?
I have no idea. I haven't even used it, so I
So
skipped over it.
yeah, I mean, this is one where it's definitely got its specific use case, like we say before. But it's got these kind of features that are also really interesting. So it's one of those that I'm not opposed to it because it's a small megabyte and it's a small price. But it's going to be a very, again, if you're big into forestry, then this is going to be something for you. Me personally, I'm not huge into forestry, and yeah, this is going to be one I'd pass on. But I can see kind of the use case. What I would like to know is, I see these kind of chains on the front of it. I wonder if it's got straps or something that you can, kind of utilize with this. That'd be kind of cool if that was the case. Then you can start
Oh
lugging
yeah,
around trees and stuff.
that'd be awesome.
But I mean, again, it's one of those that I'd probably end up passing without, really seeing all the features associated to it.
Right, right. The next one is gonna be strobe light. This is by FA. This is gonna be 0.41 megabytes to download. This is like a role play kind of mod.
Yeah, exactly. This is something that you have when you're just kind of like looking to set up a scenario kind of thing. Me personally,
Mm-hmm.
this is going to be a huge pass, even though,
Mm-hmm.
less than a megabyte to install and it's about $150 at the max to buy. I mean, at the end of the day, they're just flashing lights to create a scenario. To me, not that worth it. So it's going to be a pass.
Right. Next one is gonna be TMC Casella. This is say TFR 250. This is gonna be HP. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but it's gonna be 89 kilobytes to download. Price tag $89,500.
So this one, I really like this one because all this is the base game model that we have, but it doesn't rip into the ground. It just is a stump grinder, brush cutter, things like that. But it doesn't tear into the ground like the base game one. The base game one you can see in this screenshot here, it rips into the ground, it rips a path. This one doesn't. The mod just goes after the trees. That's great. I cannot stand it sometimes when I'm trying to do clear cutting or trying to clear out, trees and stuff. And all of a sudden I'm starting to create fields and I'm starting to create all the kind of, no, don't get me wrong.
Right.
That one's going to be more realistic. I mean, you're not going to have one of these mods to kind of, rip into a stump or rip into like the dirt and it not cut into it. This is an unrealistic version of the mod, but I like this one because it makes it to where it's going to be a lot cleaner.
Oh yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100%. I mean, I passed on it, but I don't really do much of that kind of stuff. Let's see here. Next one would be the Grimmy RH 2460 Multi-Fruit. This is by Joga Dim. It's going to be 4.87 megabytes to download. Price tag is $45,000. Capacity 20,000 liters. Pass for me.
5 megabytes to install, $45,000 to buy. This is essentially the base game belt system that we have access to, but the base game belt system is also a boxer. So what it does is it will take your potatoes and sugar beets and it can put them on the conveyor belt or it can create a box. As you can see, in this screenshot here, it's actually doing that boxing. But what the mod does is allows you to put all the other kinds of fruit types in there in order to kind of put them into your kind of starting belt system. So it's nice to have that, and it's nice if you want to kind of, have a different way of doing things. For 5 megabytes to install, I don't think that's really that bad, and I like it when we get these kind of mods that kind of create the quality of life upgrades. We've got something similar in the root crop palletizer, to where it adds not just the potatoes and sugar beets, but it also adds the carrots, parsnips, and red beets as well to palletize. But it doesn't do the palletizing for all the other fruit types. It just does it for the kind of base roots. So this
Right.
one here, I like it. I think this is kind of cool. to be able to have a different way to be able to utilize belt systems. And if you like belt systems, then yeah, give this one a try.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Animal Food Big Bags. This is by IRL Modding. Be 2.83 megabytes to download. Just different big bags you can get of different animals.
No, it's different big bags, but it's only $600 for the feed. Now it's 600 liters for each type. So it might not be a big savings or anything like that. But if I take a quick peek at the feed bags, you're talking for a bag of wheat, which is your chicken feed, it's 1,000 liters for $1,500. So you can get 2 of these to have a larger capacity of literage for wheat, and you're still spending less money. So you're spending $1,200 for 1,200 liters versus $1,500 for 1,000 liters. So that's already a plus. For your horses, again, your horses are $1,400 for 1,000 liters. So again, that's a better, bang for your buck. For your cows, do we have cow feed base game? I don't think we do. We don't. No. So that's already an upgrade. And your sheep, essentially it's going to give you grass, which again, I mean, we don't have for base game. And for pigs, pig. There we go. Again, $1,000 per 1,000 liters. Now, this one, the pigs are the only one where it's not going to be beneficial for you to purchase from this pack. So all in all, for 3 megabytes and you get cheaper materials, that's kind of a win.
Man, I can see that. Here we go. So the next one's going to be the PGR Building Pack. This is by DDIC 96. It's going to be 112.92 megabytes to download. This was a hard pass.
Hard pass. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. The models look great. And I think this is in preparation for maps such as like PGR Sliwo, I believe, or maps along those veins, because I believe Didac was one of the map makers that made PGR Sliwo. I could be mistaken about that, so don't quote me on that. But at bare minimum, I think the models that were used in this pack were a part of those maps. So I could be getting things kind of crossed, but I'm pretty sure that there was a connection between Didac and the PGR Sliwo and other maps as well. So all in all, I can see this one being utilized down the line, and I think they're nice looking models and buildings and stuff. But as a kind of standalone 112, 113 megabytes to install, I'm going to be a hard pass on this until there's a map that's actually going to utilize them, in which case, if it's like a PGR Sliwo, I thought that was a great map, and if that map is coming back or something similar to that is coming back, then I think this is going to be a good one. But the individual mods themselves, not worth it for me.
No, I feel that. Man, it's 112 megabytes.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Next one's going to be a Haystack Fermenter and Dryer. This is by NASA B82. It's going to be 1.84 megabytes to download.
I mean, what's not to like about this? 2 megabytes to install, and you get yourself a production point that's going to start drying your hay. I mean, or your hay. I mean, it's also a fermenter, so you can do your silage, you can do your hay. I mean, what's not to like about that? And it's also really kind of unique looking in the ways that you just kind of stack your stuff out in the middle of the field or on the side of a hill, as is pictured here. And yeah, it then produces your product. I like it. I think that's really kind of a cool thing. And all in all, yeah, definite win, especially for 2 megabytes. How can you go wrong?
It's different.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah. Let's see here. Next one's going to be Cowshed. This is by Camelios 0397. This will be 1.18 megabytes to download.
I mean, again, this is another one that's just a win all the way around. 2 megabytes to install, not even 2 megabytes. And you're talking a small cow barn, $8,000 for 20 cows or $16,000 for 40 cows. I mean, holy smokes. That's awesome. And then you get the one with the pasture for 8,520 cows.
cows.
I mean, it's a win. It's a win. It's a win. I think this is awesome.
It does say note: manure can only be filled with a shovel or trailer. So just keep that in mind. Let's see here. Next one is going to be Modern Cow Barn. This is by Peisel. It's going to be 14.28 megabytes to download. Price tag is
Jonah donated
$64,000.
$4.99 through Super Chat.
Base,
Jonah was
48
here.
cows. I think there's a pen on this one.
And for some reason... Oh, There it goes.
There's no pen. Yeah, there's no pen on this one, so it's going to be 48 cows flat.
So 15 megabytes to install, 64,000 to buy, 48 cows. I mean, just kind of looking at it, it's a really solid looking mod. I love, like, you look at the brickwork. Any time that we see these kind of buildings where it's got the kind of exposed brick to them, I always look at like the grouting and the kind of joint, the compound that's in between, and you can see all the detail that's inside that kind of grouting and all that stuff. It looks fantastic. For 15 megabytes, that's really, really nice looking model, inside and out. Then you go ahead and you start to compare it to what other things we have here at base game. So you're talking, for 48 cows, we're talking roughly the cow barn is probably the closest comparable we have. That holds 35 cows for $85,000. So this already blows that out of water. For 15 megabytes, 64,000 as compared to 85, and 48 cows for the mod, 35 for base game. All in all, you get more cows, less money. Win, win, win. And it's a nice looking mod too. It just looks like a simple building, and I personally, I love simple. I love it when it's just kind of, it's built for a purpose. It doesn't have to be fancy, and go above and beyond. Simple sometimes is better.
So your next one is going to be liquid fertilizer herbicide production. It's by DS Power. It's going to be 9.31 megabytes to download.
I love this. I absolutely love this. For 10 megabytes to install, you get the ability to make your liquid fertilizer and your herbicide. And what's cool about this is that it's got a component that you have to purchase in order to make the recipe complete. So water is the only thing that you can supply it. That's it. Then outside of the water, you have to either buy nutrient salt for liquid fertilizer or weed free for herbicide. And it's you're basically buying a concentrate. That's what it is. And then you're able to then mix the components, and then boom, you've got your liquids right there. So I mean, water is next to nothing, and the actual components themselves are dirt cheap. So if you want to make these components at next to nothing prices, I'm trying to find the because I have this installed. This was called the liquid herbicide. I blew right past this. There it is. Okay, so for 500 liters of each component is $1,000. So the recipe itself is next to nothing in regards to this. I'm going to go ahead and install this because I want to be able to actually kind of do full justice for this mod. Because I think it's that good. I like this one a lot. Where are you? That's the only thing about... There it is. Yeah, $40,000 to buy, which is also not that bad. So we'll just slap that down. So the recipe, let me bring up my screen real quick and make sure that it is... There it goes. All right. So you can see here the recipe for 1,000 liters of water plus 10 liters of weed free, you make 1,000 liters of herbicide. So that's really not bad. And considering, again, $1,000 for 500 liters, you're talking that recipe can be repeated. What is that? 50? No. Yeah, 50 times. Yeah, 50 times. So you're talking, 50,000 liters with one purchase. Am I right about that? Is my mathing, Will?
It is.
It is. Yeah, so
It is.
I mean, $1,000 for 50,000 liters of herbicide. That's insane. It's incredible
Right.
because, again, if you look at it as a kind of base component, looking up here, again, we'll look at herbicide. $2,400 for 2,000 liters. So you're already spending way more and getting way less. So this is a huge difference maker for the mod. It's for getting these specific products. It's a huge difference maker. I think this is fantastic and worth every megabyte to install.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad at all. Let's see here. Next one is going to be wood chips storage. This is by Dogface. This is going to be 7.19 megabytes to download. See, the one thing I like about this, though, is it actually has a fill plane.
Let's see. Yes, the wood chip storage. Yeah, I love whenever we get mods that do things like this because it just, again, it makes it feel real. And this one in particular, for 8 megabytes to install, you can put in your wood chips. Is also building functions like a silo or a hayloft. So, I mean, it's basically just a place for you to store all your wood chips loosely. I think that's fantastic. And if you've got tons of wood chips lying around, if you're doing a bunch of forestry work, or you have the sawmill where it's producing a bunch of wood chips, and you don't want them all boxed up because most of the standard kind of production points that we have that as a kind of box. Wood chips appear in boxes, kind of thing. If you don't want them to be in those boxes, you don't want to have a ton of them, available. You can do it like this. It's fantastic. I love it.
Oh yeah, 100%. Let's see here. Next one is going to be salt production. This is by Sonny Sonnyod and Conharek. I think I said pronounce it. It's going to be 54.35 megabytes to download. This is actually interesting, though.
This definitely is something that's new and unique, having the kind of salt production. This does make things like coarse salt, like these are new products that you can create. So it's not like this is just recreating something else. What I thought originally when I first saw this is, this is going to make road salt kind of thing. Oh boy, nothing, moving on. But it also makes coarse salt. It does make road salt, like that is a part of it. But I don't know. I just think it's kind of a cool take on the salt production, and it gives you kind of a use for making road salt. It actually kind of makes winter stuff possibly advantageous.
To me, this is like a great role play thing. Like where you're gonna have someone making a salt. It's like, okay, I need to deliver this. How much I need, and then they bring it to you.
Yeah, exactly. Now the only thing, 55 megabytes to install. So off the bat, right there, it's kind of going to be a pass for me. But I can appreciate this. I can see where they're going with this, and I like it. I think it's really cool. I just wish it wasn't as intrusive on the megabyte size.
Right. Let's see. Your next one is going to be grape juice production. This is by Johnny X Pro. It's going to be 13.06 megabytes to download.
Now, I'm pretty sure I recognize the creator of this. I'm pretty sure that this is the same creator who made Italian... What was that map called? Pretty sure he made a map, and I'm pretty sure that it was a series I did, and the map was broken really bad. Why can't I remember it? Hills of Tuscany. There we go. Hills of Tuscany. I'm pretty sure that was the same map. But this production point is from, or I'm pretty sure it's from that map. It's a nice looking model. I do like it. For 14 megabytes to install, it's not that intrusive. I mean, it's up there, but not that bad. And yeah, you can make your grape juice and your grape processing waste, and you got your raisins and whatnot. So it does create a new fill type. You got your processing waste that you wouldn't get otherwise. But I don't know. I like it. I think it's a cool looking building, and yeah, it's definitely got some character to it.
Oh yeah. Well,
But
I like the wood look.
yeah, the wood look is nice. But at the end of the day, it forces you to do grapes, and I don't know too many people out there is going to be like, "Yay, let me get on the grapes." Woo!
Right. Let's see. Your next one is gonna be Granny's Farm Shop by Omatana. It's gonna be 7.51 megabytes to download.
Omatana. I what else can you say? I mean, Omatana is a fantastic modder, absolutely one of the best out there, in my opinion. 8 megabytes to install, and you got yourself a little farm shop. You got yourself a little selling point. But look at all the details. Again, for 8 megabytes, and to have that
Right.
level of detail, I really like this. And number one, I absolutely love the little signage on the front there, Granny's Farm Shop. I just
Yeah.
think that's really cute. You know, you got the old couple right next to each other. It's adorable. I mean, how can you not like that? But then you look
Right.
inside the stall there, and you've got all the various products and stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a sell point, but look at all that. Look at all the details. I mean, just love it. Absolutely love it. This would be a very welcomed addition for a map on anybody's map. And again, for 25 grand to purchase,
Right.
and with it decorated, without it decorated, you know, all that
It's not
stuff,
bad.
it's not bad. For 8 megabytes, yeah, I like it. I would and did install this.
Let's see. Your next one is gonna be Wooden Toys Workshop. This is by VX Mapping. It's gonna be 5.85 megabytes to download. Price tag is $20,000. This is very interesting though, because you can actually make like statues and different figures and sell them. They actually go for a decent price too.
So you recognize these models that they used?
Yeah, they're collectibles from 22.
Yep, exactly. So they got the Silver Run Forest models here, all the kind of wood carving ones, and then they got like the little toys from Elm Creek.
Yep.
But I mean, overall, 6 megabytes to install, and you get new products and a new kind of way to utilize your current products. I mean, wood and you know, boards, wood chips, you know, all those kind of things that you can utilize to get out. I mean, I like it. I think that's kind of a nice, new, and unique way to utilize those kind of products. So, yeah, I like it and would definitely install this.
So your next one is going to be Solar Fences. This is by Hot Online Team. It's going to be 13.60 megabytes to download.
All right, so I'll go into the specifics first. So 14 megabytes to install. It's definitely interesting, especially if it does generate an income, $15 per hour. So that's kind of cool. I do like that as a kind of concept, is having a fence that's also solar and all that stuff. But this might be way off base. But have you ever heard of solar roads?
No.
All right, so there was a company out there a long time ago, not a long time ago, maybe about 5, 10-ish years, somewhere in that ballpark. I think they were based out of Wisconsin or maybe Minnesota. It's somewhere in the Midwest, somewhere in that ballpark. And this couple, it started off as a couple, started creating these little diskettes. They're about, I don't know, maybe about 1 foot by 1 foot diskettes, and inside of them are solar panels and lights, and they were supposed to be the latest and greatest craze, because what they were going to do is be able to put down all these little diskettes all over the cities and all this stuff, and they'd be able to generate power, and it'd be able to not only generate power, but also be able to have these LED markers inside of them to be able to put down like parking lot lines and road signs, and be able to change directions of traffic, like do all these kind of things. It was supposed to be like this big latest and greatest thing, until they realized it was junk. And junk is a harsh word, but the problem with putting things down on the ground is that they interact with things,
Right.
right? And the problem with putting LEDs on the ground or putting solar on the ground that is being stepped on, being driven on, being all this stuff, is that the glass that was used eventually gets scuffed, marred, and eventually just you can't utilize it anymore. Eventually it doesn't work as a solar panel because you need clear glass to capture and get as much of the sun's radiation as possible. While at the same time, having the kind of LEDs and stuff like that in there, because the glass would start to get marred and scuffed and all this stuff over time and over use, because they did like a test field, and the original couple that owned it tested out in their driveway, and it worked in small scale, but then when they kind of expanded out to everyday use kind of thing in a larger test area, it just failed completely because the repeated, wear and tear from the surface of the cars driving on and all that stuff would completely blow out the entirety of the whole circuitry underneath. Would the vibrations would just completely collapse the entirety of the model and unit itself. And what was supposed to be so cool about these is that, if you had a dead panel or you had a dead thing, you just uninstall it and put a new one in. It's easy peasy. It's slap and go kind of thing. And I saw this mod come out, and it immediately reminded me of Solar Roads and the advertising, because they had a little advertisement. You can go onto YouTube and find it. And it's Solar Roads, and it's like solar, and just all this kind of like 90s, kind of advertising nonsense. It's like made me kind of sad to be a millennial, because you could tell that was like the millennial mindset. And it's like, God, why are we like this?
Right.
Anyways.
Secondhand embarrassment.
Yes. And it was just like, you could tell that somebody was like, this is going to be awesome. This is going to be the $1 million idea. And from what I understand, the couple, like, they made bank. They made a good amount of money because they sold it to a lot of the local cities and stuff as kind of like their testing project. But, it ended up being a complete and utter failure.
Oh, jeez.
Our tax dollar, well, not my tax dollars because it was all local, but people's tax dollars going up in smoke.
Sounds like New York.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. There were a couple updates. We're not going to go over those. So that's going to be the New Holland CR 10.90 pack by Giant Software. 82.07 megabytes to download.
No, God, please, no. Moving on.
This is gonna be a hard pass for me.
Hard pass. 83 megabytes, absolutely not. For a harvest, no. Please, God, no. I'm gonna use any base game model before I even begin to think about installing this. I mean, take the New Holland factor out of it. No, just no. 85, no.
All right, moving on.
No.
All right. The next one is going to be the Oxbow 6030 by Giant Software. I was very happy with this. It's going to be 54.67 megabytes to download.
Do I need to go into it again? Do I?
I mean, I absolutely love this. I actually grabbed it. This is the only grape harvester I actually use if I do grapes. So.
See, now this one I will give credit to because this isn't just a grape harvester. It's also a sprayer as well. So I will give it the credit it deserves. It is absolutely a good unit. It's a good model. And just like the last one, it was a good model. It's made by Giants. Highly all detailed. Fine and dandy. Highly detailed, as Giants mods always are. The problem is 55 megabytes, and it's grapes. I mean, let's face it, it's grapes. It's few and far between where I'm going to be like, oh yes, let's do graping. Let's get our grapes and just start going to town. Like, it's one of those like no. It's just a hard pass for me right from the very beginning because it's grapes. But then you throw into the fact that it's 55 megabytes to install. No, 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 no.
Okay, moving on.
Moving on.
Let's see here. The next one is going to be the Canervalan EcoMat by Giant Software. This is going to be 11.86 megabytes to download. Price tag is $35,000. Required horsepower is 220. Working with is 3.5 meters.
No, 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 no. Plow, chisel, back, no. 12 megabytes, no, no, no. Anyways.
All right, moving on.
Moving on.
So that ended the mods for the 9th. What was your favorite mod?
Oh dear. So I'm going to have to go with the liquid fertilizer herbicide plant. I love this one. The production for that one, because again, it makes what is normally a super expensive product insanely cheap. Insanely cheap. So yeah, by far and away, the liquid fertilizer herbicide production.
For me, it would have to be Trekker Matsy's map.
Yeah. Yep, that's also a really solid one.
See, I was torn between that one or the quad track.
Ralph Fanning Jonah donated $1.99 through Super Chat. Yes, 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 LOL.
Oh, Jonah. You mind if I catch up with the chat just real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, so the reason I'm chuckling is I got a couple of super chats from Rail Fanning Jonah. Jonah, thank you so much. First super chat was for $4.99. Says Jonah was here. The second one, $1.99. Again, thank you, Jonah. Greatly appreciate it. Says yes, yes, yes. LOL. But to catch up with the rest of it, we got, I believe I left off with Samuel Wilkinson Jr. says new ATV at Farming Simulator 25 mod. Luke says, hey Benji, how are you doing? And also says, everyone have a good night. All right, Luke, well, you have yourself a fantastic rest of your night. You take care, and we'll see you again next time. Farmer Groot says, how dare Will pass on the auto load trailer, LOL. I agree, Groot. I 100% agree. How dare you, Will?
I don't use auto load.
I know. Jonah says, hello, friends. Hello, Jonah. We got Taco Dig Groot. Taco, how you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. It says, good evening, all. Dang, that mulcher needs 360 horsepower. Oh, yeah. It needs a lot. And then Taco also says, chicken feed should be 150 per 1,000 liters. That would be realistic. Yeah, I agree. It's dirt cheap. Dirt cheap. We got Jonah says, yes, LOL, and then sent the super chat so I would see it and push it through. Uh-oh, Benji. Uh-oh. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. I'm caught up.
All right. So now we're on Tuesday, so we got one more day of the week after this. So next one is going to be Gwendathol. This is by Iron Thunder. This is going to be 295.04 megabytes to download.
Oh, Nandenthal. This map is... Let's see, I'm trying to remember. I think I gave this, and I caught a little heat. I actually got some comments about this one. All in jest. It was all in jest. But I gave it a 2.5. This is not my favorite map. And don't get me wrong, it's not a bad map. It's just not my favorite. This is the ones that I was kind of talking about earlier, where the Waiseka County map that Will was just mentioning was his favorite in the last week, or in the last days. This is the exact kind of map that I'm talking about, where it's flat, it's square, it's very kind of, I don't want to say boring, but it's very kind of just there it is. And to where the Waiseka is, at least it's got the undulations, it's got the irregular fields and all this stuff going on for it. Now this one does have some interesting stuff. It's got alfalfa, clover, rye, triticale, millet, spelt, mustard, lavender, poppy, flax, buckwheat, and lentils. All those different things that are different kind of products that we're used to, but you can see just how just square and open and all that kind of stuff. There's not a lot going on that makes it really kind of appealing to deal with. And
I passed on it.
yeah, it's a pass for me as well. I mean, I understand that people like this style and like this kind of a map. And like I said, I got a little bit of heat, quote unquote heat, from my comments, out there. But it was all in good fun. But I understand where people are coming from, that they like this kind of style. It's just not for me.
So your next one is going to be Moss Valley. This is by VR Modding. It's going to be 519.31 megabytes to download.
I really love this map. I absolutely love it. The reason being is, number one, based off a real life location. You can see here in the kind of overview on the map details, the PDA. Absolutely love it. I think that this is a fantastic map. It's gonna need a little TLC. I'm gonna say that right off the bat. It's gonna need some updates. But this is a gorgeous, gorgeous map. And I did the map tour, and I was kind of a knucklehead when I did it, because I was going through the starting farm. There's a chicken barn that's right on the main starting farm. Will knows what I'm talking about, because he was one of the people that reached out to me, but was not the first to reach out to me, telling me that I was a knucklehead and letting me know exactly where to put the chicken feed. What I didn't realize, and I got confused about, is that the chicken feed input is right next to the output for the main silo. The input for the main silo is actually around a corner and underneath a covered awning. So it was just one of those, I don't know what I was thinking, but I went back into it after I heard from Will and after I heard from others as well. And it's like, hey, this is how X, Y, and Z works. And you can actually see in this photo right here, that is the silo right there, where you got this kind of tractor that's parked up underneath it. On the back side is the chicken barn and the lane that leads to that chicken barn. Again, it's a very intricate kind of map and a very, very intricate starting farm. Like, it's got a lot of little nooks and crannies, all sorts of different stuff on it. There's, I think, about 4 or 5 other starting farms. And just the undulations, the landscape, and the terrain, the color palette, everything about this map is gorgeous. It's spot on. I love this map.
Let's see here. Well, it was funny because as soon as I saw Moss Valley come out, I'm like, oh, I know he's gonna like this.
Oh, I like this. I like this a lot. And it really shocks me. It's only got a 3.6 rating. But I mean, if people are taking into account the kind of flaws that are a part of it right now, and that's driving the rating down, then I can understand it. But I personally feel like it needs to be higher.
Well, he actually already submitted an update in for it.
Excellent, excellent. Glad to hear that.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Fent Vario Evolution. This is by DS Power. It's going to be 36.72 megabytes to download.
This one's a hard pass for me. 37 megabytes to install. I mean, you figure it's not that bad in the ways of pricing and whatnot, because you figure this is a large tractor, or what's considered a large tractor, but it's really kind of weak. It's only got 131 horsepower to 180 horsepower, according to the description here. I wonder if that's a kind of... No, it's repeating it. Oh, there's several in here. Okay.
Yeah, it's a whole pack.
Okay, yeah, okay. That makes more sense. I was about to say, it's like, man, for a large tractor, that's really, really puny for a horsepower. Like, holy smokes. So, kind of, it's a Fent. I mean, yeah, I know, you're not a big Fent guy. But,
I'd rather take Fent over New Holland.
Oh yeah. The one thing I will say that I really like about Fent, especially the bigger Fents, the Fent 1000 Vario in particular, 42 miles per hour to drive. Oh, yeah. And unlike the JCBs, it's got enough power to get up on its own way.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, anybody who's driven the JCB, the fast track, knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's like, it can get up to 42 miles per hour. In theory, it can. has anybody ever seen it get up to 42 miles an hour? I'm not sure if that's ever happened. I'm just not positive. I mean, it's like the Sasquatch. It's like Bigfoot. Many people claim they've seen it, but when you actually kind of get to understand who they are, they're just kind of a nut job. And then, like, you kind of discount what it is they're saying, kind of thing. Again, there's many people who say they've seen the fast track get up to 42 miles an hour, but then you get to talking to them. Oh, goodness. Anyways, all in all, I would skip on this, but now that I kind of consider that there's several tractors in here for 36 megabyte install, I'm less opposed to it. I kind of breezed right through this one when it originally came, and now that I understand this is actually like one for small, one for medium, and one for large, like that's actually not a bad file size considering you're getting 3 separate tractors out of this. I'd be okay with this at the end of the day, I think.
Let's see. Next one is going to be the Komatsu FH50. This is by Pascal Kultz. This is going to be 17.50 megabytes to download. It's a forklift at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, forklift, high-low. I mean, we've got the base game Junheinrich EFG S50. It's got 57 horsepower. This has got 72. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a forklift. I mean, there's really not a whole lot of huge varieties in forklifts outside of like the kind of distinctions that we got in, say, FS22 when it came to premium expansion or platinum expansion, having the really big bodied Manitou forklift. Now that made a huge difference because you had like this huge monster of a forklift that was like you could haul around some major weight with that thing, as opposed to like the Junheinrich or anything along those lines. Those ones, if you threw on the same amount of weight, that thing's just going to topple over with no hesitation. But I mean, this one seems like it's maybe just a slight upgrade from the Junheinrich. Not enough for me to be like, okay, I've got to get this, especially for 18 megabytes to install. Not going to be worth it, in my opinion.
Right. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Lizard Roadrunners Hay Squeezer. This is also by Pascal Kultz. This is going to be 10 megabytes flat. This is a pass for me.
This is a pass, but it's rather interesting, in my opinion. It's essentially a self-propelled bale spike. That's really all it is. A bale spike or a bale, like a bale squeezer. It's basically, that's all it is. It's. I don't want to downplay it, but that's what it is. It's a self-propelled bale spike, and. So the reason that it's a pass for me is, number one, I mean, I'm not going to spend, what is it, $123,000 for a bale spike. I'm gonna get a front loader. I'm gonna get a telehandler, and have a more wide range of what it is I can and can't do. Because again, a bale spike base game is $600. Going from $600 to $123,000, and that's just for the self-propelled portion. Then you got to do an extra $900 for the bale fork. I mean, yeah. At the end of the day, this is just like too niche for me to be like, oh yeah, let me get my hands on this thing. Now, don't get me wrong, it's interesting. It's definitely kind of cool looking. And it does look like it can sling around a whole bunch of bales. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are in this picture here of the square bales. That's kind of cool. But at the end of the day, not worth it.
Yeah, no. Let's see. Next one is going to be the Kloss Cutter Trailer. This is by Keely03 and AgriBusiness. This is going to be 3.18 megabytes to download. It's a header trailer.
Hard pass. 4 megabytes, not that bad. $7,900. Again, not that bad. But again, it's a header trailer. Like, we've got header trailers. This is just a branded header trailer at the end of the day. Me personally, I'm going to spend the 4 megabytes on other things.
Yep. Yep. Let's see. Next one is going to be multi-purpose trailer. This is by Philip Plager 54. This is going to be 6.97 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $25,000, capacity of 7,000 to 14,000 liters.
So this one's a pass. And the reason being is that, again, it fails $1,000 per 1,000 liters. You know, you've got 25,000 for your base price and 7,000 liter capacity. So right off the rip, gone. Right there, you're talking almost 3 times the amount of for that. It's almost $3,000 per 1,000 liters. It's super expensive. It's actually more than 3,000 now I'm thinking about it. So yeah, it's hugely expensive for what you're getting. And I mean, 7 megabytes, not that bad. I can get over the 7 megabytes, no problem.
Yeah.
But $3,000 per 1,000 liters, that's a huge price to pay
big
for a trailer.
Oh yeah, I agree. That was a pass for me. Let's see. Next one's gonna be the Lizard Tandem series. This is by Sir Vertex. It's gonna be 18.02 megabytes to download.
So for
This I passed on.
19 megabytes, I really like this because of the kind of uniqueness that this can bring to a game file. So you can see how you can like double things up in order to make them kind of, I don't know what the right word is, but basically double your capacity. I mean, you can see this picture here with the windrowers. You got 2 of the large crone windrowers here that you can just double up your duties. You know, you can double up the seeders. You can just do all sorts of different kind of stuff with this mod. And it's just a nice little kind of experimentation, I guess, would be kind of the best way to put it, because you can really kind of, you know, do some really kind of interesting things. And I've seen people, I think Driver 53 did something, you know, with this that was like super unique, and I can't remember what it was off the top of my head, but I thought I remember seeing a video where it was just like this huge monstrosity of tandem trailer after tandem trailer after like 3 or 4 of these things, like all kind of hooked up in series, and then all of a sudden he's got like these monster like implements on the back end that was just like the most ridiculous thing. Like it was basically like a 50-meter plow at the end of the day. Like it was nuts what I was looking at. But it was just, it's cool, the kind of different things that you can do with this. So I think at the end of the day, it's kind of, again, it's a niche kind of thing, but it really, for the creative among you, I think is going to be a really kind of a nice asset. And again, 19 megabytes to install. And if you're creative enough, this is something that can really help your farming.
Oh yeah. Let's see here. Next one is the Eno Elite 270. This is by WolfX Modding, aka White Bull Modding. It's gonna be 4.45 megabytes to download. See, it does have a price tag of $5,730 and working with a 2.7 meters. It's a mulcher.
It's a mulcher, but 5 megabytes to install, not that bad. 2.7 working with, less than 3 meter shenanigans going on there. And then $5,700. Now that's where it's kind of a nice little investment. You're talking for less than 5 megabytes to buy. You can get a mulcher that is actually cheaper than the base game stuff. So we've got base game a 2.2 meter in the TMC Kinsella TDE 220 and the 3 meter equivalent in the Noach Speedmax 300. Now, the TMC is 13,500. The Noach is 11,000. This is half the price and is only 0.3 meters smaller than the Speedmax 300. I think that's a win. So all in all, I would install this. Absolutely.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be the West Tech Pack. This is by HR Force and Farzugbo. It's going to be 4.52 megabytes to download.
I mean, 5 megabytes, if you're into your forestry work and you want to use this kind of branded equipment, that's all fine and dandy. Me personally, I'm going to pass just because I'm not huge on forestry work. I'm not huge on the Volvos, and I'm not huge on these kind of header attachments. So all in all, it's just not something for me. But again, if you're into forestry, if you're into the Volvos and you're into these kind of header attachments, then this is going to be a good one for you, because this is going to be something that you can utilize for your forestry work and do all that stuff. So yeah, it's one of those that I'm not a fan of it, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to be good. And HR Frost and Verzugbau makes some really good mods and really good models for the forestry people out there. Just not for me. So this is a pass for me, but I'm not its target audience.
Right. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Jerry Can Palette. This is by Premium Ag. This is going to be 0.68 megabytes to download. So you get $25 for 20 liters. You get $300 for 240 liters.
I like this one. For less than a megabyte to install, you get little jerry cans of your fuel. So if you run out in the middle of a field, you at least can go take it some kind of, little something or other to be able to get it the rest of the way, or get it off the field, or do something with it. And you're talking, that's actually really cheap. You're talking for $25 for 20 liters. That's not that bad for price.
It's almost 1-1.
Yeah, it's darn near $1 per liter. That's really good. So all in all, I think this is a solid one and is definitely worth an install.
Next one is going to be hand liftable consumables. This is by Mr. Hector. This is going to be 7.98 megabytes to download. I love this.
I agree. 8 megabytes to install, and you get all sorts of different stuff here. You get chicken feed, pig feed, horse feed, cow feed, total mixed ration, mineral feed, seeds, fertilizer, lime, road salt. You also get like your liquid fertilizers, your silage additives. You get your diesel and DEF. You get bale twine, and you get netting. You get wrapping. You get all these different stuffs that can go along with this pack. And it's just all, stuff that you can hand lift. It's small quantities to be able to, take out and utilize each individual component as it's intended. I like that. I think that's kind of a cool little thing, and I really like this photo. I think somebody took a long time to just be able to make this one screen grab.
Yeah.
I think that's really funny. But all in all, I think it's fantastic, and being able to just kind of hand feed your animals or hand pour your seeds into your hopper and all that stuff. I like it. I think that's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the warehouse pack. This is by Pascal Coutts. I think it's going to be 38.01 megabytes to download. Now, I remember in FS22, these actually had like storage areas where you can just basically back up and it would automatically store it. These are not like that. These are basically just sheds.
Yeah, and because of that, hard pass. Almost 39 megabytes to install. You get a set of 4 different warehouses, but they're just buildings. I mean, at the end of the day, don't get me wrong. They're pretty good looking buildings. They're detailed and all that stuff, but it's just not something, again, it's going to fit my play style, so it's going to be a pass for me.
Oh, yeah. So your next one is going to be Extended Goods and Productions. This is by Phased. It's going to be 1.49 megabytes to download.
Super, super small for something that's incredibly, incredibly powerful. If you're looking to make new goods for your gameplay, this is a good mod to have. For less than 2 megabytes to install, you get to make pea flour, corn flour, canola flour, soy flour, sunflower flour, garlic butter, yogurt, strawberry milk, pea milk, oat milk, rice milk, and soy milk. All that stuff that you can make with just this one thing. And then you get that's just from the mill, though. That's just the mill. They also have a dairy in here, and the various outputs that you can make are things like yogurts and strawberry milk and garlic butter. I mean, just it's a really kind of a nice little addition for your production chains. You're able to then just come up with all these different kind of outputs that are, new to the game. I like it, and I think this is kind of a nice little addition to it.
Let's see here. So the next one is going to be the LPS Post Office Production Pack. This is by Squizzle. It's going to be
Squiggles.
9.31 megabytes to download. This is actually very interesting because you actually have to, so basically, it's going to be the very first screenshot. You see the building. The building looks fantastic. And it does come with that sign out front where you can place anywhere. And then you have all these different mailboxes, including this mail truck, and you actually can produce just by water. So the input's water and the output is mail, and you actually have to go deliver it to these mailboxes.
I think this is actually a very interesting idea. Again, this is along the same kind of lines as
Fish farming.
the fish farm, exactly. Who made that mod? Why can't I think of their name? Gwendol, thank you. Wow. Yeah, it's along those same veins where you're able to just put in water and then you produce mail, and then you get to take it to these, I mean, essentially these are just sell points, the mailboxes. But I mean, it's just an interesting idea that you can just go bloop, deliver mail, and
so for a whole pallet, I think it's like $3,500.
yeah. So I mean, all in all, you're basically taking water and making loads of cash. So it's nice. It's a really cool kind of concept, and yeah, I would say absolutely install it, and especially for less than 10 megabytes, yeah, it's definitely worth it.
See, I would take this just to put it on a map and then pretend like I'm going to the post office. Let's see here. Next one is going to be Lighted Bunker Silo. This is by Rockhound Modding. This is going to be 2.59 megabytes to download. Price tag is $65,000. And I like this. Capacity, 1.2 million liters. Thank you for putting that in there.
Yeah. I mean, that's a huge capacity. 1.2 million liters, 65,000, so it's dirt cheap, and 3 megabytes to install. So you get a nice little lit up bunker silo. So you can do your silage work at night and not have to worry about not seeing where the dips are. All in all, I like it. It's a nice little mod, nice little model. And yeah, I think this is definitely worth 3 megabytes to install.
So your next one is going to be Hessian Farm. Volkswagenburger. This is by Farmer 5 Tom. It's going to be 35.61 megabytes to download. Now, if I remember correctly, yeah, this one's broken. Broken because literally it was a copy and paste for the sheep to pig pen. Because so it's the third screenshot in where you see the sheep. So that side awning area is where all the wool spawns or goat milk, right?
Okay.
Basically, in the pig pen, it's the exact same spot. Everything's the exact same in the pig pen as this, even though it's no use. So he literally just copied and pasted. So it does require an update and all that.
Well, that is a shame, but I mean, it's very highly detailed models. It looks really good. I liked this pack when it was part of FS22, and I like to see that it's coming back to FS25, and when it gets updated and gets fixed, then it's going to be fantastic. But I remember this pack being used a lot in FS22 on multiple different styles of maps. So I can expect that this is going to be used again on many different maps moving forward. It's going to be nice to see it come back.
Oh, yeah. So your next one is going to be the solar generator. This is by NASA B82. It's going to be 0.17 megabytes to download. And the price tag is $19,500. and you earn $1,600 per hour.
I mean, what's not to like about that? I mean, that's a good chunk of change to earn. I mean, you can basically pay back your investment price of 20 grand in what,
Right.
about 7-8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Right.
I mean, in all seriousness, for less than 1 megabyte, again, just like I was talking about before, if you're into generators, this is going to be a good one for you because you're going to be able to make money really quickly and you're going to be able to pay back your investment. I have a feeling that that's broken. If those are the right prices, then I would be absolutely shocked that that was the case. Because I mean, you're talking 20 grand for $1,600 per hour. You're gonna pay that back in a day and make a profit after day one,
Right.
kind of thing.
Right.
So something about that seems wrong to me. I think this is supposed to say $1,600 a month, maybe,
Right.
and even that I would struggle to see that price for that investment. So I think
Right.
something's wrong with the description at minimum. But I mean, it looks like a really nice model. I love the kind of brickwork on the building there. I think that that's a really nice looking model. But again, I'm not huge on the generators, especially ones that are so powerful like this, with the exception of things like the government subsidies in order to get a lot of money in for like map tours and stuff. That tends to be the only time where I'm really using a generator like this.
Right. Right. Let's see. Your next one is going to be Concrete Curbs. This is by, I don't know if I want to say this. PP? I don't know.
Pippi.
That's how you pronounce it. Pippi. It's going to be 0.27 megabytes to download.
This one's a pass for me. I mean, less than a megabyte, okay, fine. $13 per meter, okay, fine. It's essentially it's a fence for like concrete borders and stuff. Not a big deal to me, so this is just a pass.
Let's see. Your next one is going to be Boosted Greenhouses. This is by GMNG Joy or Gaming Joy.
Gaming Joy.
This is going to be 20.22 megabytes to download. So basically, you have a regular version and a fast version.
I like it. I tend to really like Gaming Joy's mods because it's very focused on quality of life. And these ones, if you're looking for that kind of nice boost in productivity, this is going to be a good one for you. So all in all, I like it. It's going to be a good one, I think. And 21 megabytes to install. Yeah, I can get on board with this.
And then there's just 2 updates that came along today. So that's it for that day. What's your favorite?
So out of these ones, I'd probably have to go with Moss Valley.
Mine would be the handlettable consumables.
Gotcha.
All right, we're on the last day.
We got some biggies.
So the first one is going to be Stories. Or Starories. This is by Greenick and Farvery. Or Favery. There we go. Be 254.26 megabytes to download.
So this one I gave a 3.5 out of 5. And I'm trying to remember this map because honestly, it's not ringing any bells. I remember doing the tour, but I just don't remember what it was. I think it was the color palette was a little bit intrusive. If I remember right, it had lots of like vibrant colors all throughout the map. Just the kind of general layout I just wasn't a huge fan of. If I remember it correctly. So all in all, yeah, about 3.5 out of 5, but this one wasn't one that would really kind of stood out to me. So just a little bit above average.
Yeah. Next one. This will be Alma, Missouri by Celabuki.
I mean,
609.11 megabytes to download.
Crap, garbage, get it out of here. Want nothing to do with it. Oh yeah. If you believe me there, then I've got a oceanfront property in Arizona to sell you, because this is fantastic. I don't know how Celebuki did it, but I think this is significantly better than the FS22 version. I think it's like miles away. The starting farm, I love the upgrades that they did to it. I love that the kind of silo system that they have there is just a normal silo system. It's not the flat bottom bins or anything like that. I love it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And with the kind of graphical upgrades that we have here on FS25 as opposed to FS22, like you can really see this map just come alive. And then you've got the kind of nice kind of revamping of the town area. Like the shop area got kind of a revamp. It's now flat to where you're not going to have to worry about things tipping over when you buy them. I had that happen to me many times. Just the general layout of the starting farm, I think it's, again, just like what I was saying about the Dark Forest, seeing it mature year in, year out. I feel like this is matured from 22 to 25, and I absolutely adore it. So yeah, Celebuki did a fantastic job, and yeah, I'm glad to have this one back.
Oh yeah. Next one is going to be placeable warehouse objects. This is by Pascal Counts. It's going to be 2.64 megabytes to download.
This is a pass for me. 3 megabytes to install, and essentially you got deco for a warehouse. It is essentially what I can see here. And again, it's just not something that I'm going to be like, oh yay, let's rip into this one. No, this one's going to be a pass.
Oh yeah. Let's see here. Next one is going to be farm production. This is going to be by Calvary Roy and Monkey Show Modding. It is going to be 11.44 megabytes to download. Price tag $30,000.
Love it. Love this mod. Love it. So this mod had its kind of debut in Riverview. So Cavalier Roy made this mod and put it into Riverview Farm, and now we finally get it as a standalone. $30,000 to purchase and 12 megabytes to install. This thing is so incredibly powerful. You can do things you can see just in this screenshot alone: diesel, hay, herbicide, lime, liquid fertilizer, manure, digestate. You got mineral feed, pig feed, TMR. Like, you got all your base products that you can have for your main farm. You can make it in this one production site. I absolutely adore this mod for being able to basically do anything and everything that you need for your base game work. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Benji says good evening. Good evening, Benji. What's going on, man? Next one is going to be Grain Mill Plus. This is by Mac Trucker 921. It's going to be 33.12 megabytes to download.
So for 34 megabytes to install, this is going to be a pass for me, but I do like this in concept. But for 34 megabytes, it's a bit rich for me. For a production site that's just going to create a couple of additional products like cracked corn, as you can see here on the screen, I think it's good. Don't get me wrong. It's a nice mod, nice model. I like Mac Trucker's mods. It does really good work. But just this one just doesn't speak to me when it comes to like the products that it puts out, the kind of cracked corn and things like that. Just cornmeal was the other one. I think was the other, like, I think 2 the products in addition that it puts out. It's just not something that I'm gonna like run out and grab for just cracked corn and cornmeal. Now, this mod was in 22 and was as part of a required mod for other mods for other maps that Mac Trucker also made. I think this is a part of the New Jersey mod or New Jersey map that Mac Trucker made. I'm trying to remember if it was or not, but anyways, long story short, it's just not one for me, but I can appreciate this being involved in a map that's going to like require it as a part of it, but just not one that I would use as a standalone.
Right. Let's see, your next one is going to be Pole Barn. This is by Celebuki. It's going to be 11.57 megabytes to download. Price tag $80,000. I love it.
It's a nice looking barn. I mean, at the end of the day, it is a barn. It is a shed. But it looks good. I think this is like just a nice, general, straightforward kind of design. The big bay doors in the front. You got a smaller bay door on the side there. Yeah, I think this is a good one.
And the last and final mod of the day.
Dun, 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 dun.
Fence, Wall, and Gate. This is by Mickey Mapper. This is going to be 6.33 megabytes to download. This is a pass for me. It looks fantastic, but it's a pass for me.
Pass for me, but you're right. It looks fantastic. 7 megabytes to install, so it's not that intrusive in the file size. I love the brickwork. I love how it just kind of looks. But again, it's a fence, and I'm not that big into the fences and stuff like that where I'm going to spend the 7 megabytes for a fence.
Right. Nah, that's it. What's your favorite mod for that day?
Oh, without a doubt, Alma, Missouri.
Oh, yeah. Alma, Missouri by far. Real quick. Let's see here. Ken says, "What's up, Benji?" Benji says, "Not too much, Ken." And then Benji also says, "Jimmy crack corn." And then Ken says, "Glad you dropped in," with a laughing emoji. Now, I do know that you stated that you wanted to get off here by midnight. We did pretty good.
We did pretty good this week. Yeah, it's not 2 a.m.
Yeah, right.
So I'm going to catch up with my chat just real quick. We got Benji with the 1-2, Nanu. We got Benji with the 3-4. Taco says, "Doing great. Excellent. Glad to hear it." We got Samuel says, "New ATV Banshee 500 at Farming Simulator 25. Nice." We got Taco says, "Neanderthal is big equipment and flat." Yeah, exactly. It's easy for workers and it's one of those just it's not for me. I'm not big into the easy flat maps kind of thing. No, here's the thing is when I was starting on FS19, those would be the maps I'd almost exclusively go for because I was still learning. I wasn't trying to be overwhelmed with the hills and the trails and the tunnels and the thises and the thatses. I was trying to make sure that I just had a firm grasp of the game before like getting into the more detailed kind of stuff. But as I've kind of progressed and grown from the FS19 days where I was really just kind of starting to cut my teeth on this, I've also grown in my tastes of the style of maps that I look for. It's the more intricate, the more detailed, the more like windy, twisty, turny. I'll even take like a really narrow country road kind of thing where there's going to be like consequences if I bump into a wall or something like that. That's right. Just how I've progressed over the years. Let's see. And Taco says, "Fent rules." And like I said, I do like the concept of the Fent being a tractor where you can actually get the full-blown 42 miles an hour, like the Fent 1000 Vario here, full-blown 42 miles per hour. It says 37, but it does go 42. And it actually gets up to 42 miles an hour. Unlike, we don't have it in base game, do we? We don't have the JCB in base. It's a mod. I forgot about that. So yeah, unlike the modded JCB that doesn't even get up out of its own way. Let's see. We got Kiwi Sim Farmer says, "Hi BDD, WillT, and chat. How's it going, Kiwi? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far." And Jody says, "Alma, Missouri rocks." 100% agree with you there, Jody. I love this mod. Cool. Yeah. Oh yeah, the map Alma, Missouri is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely love that map. Yeah, 100%. And like I said, I love seeing the maps as they kind of go from iteration to iteration, how they're maturing along with the new titles. So I'm really pleased to see that Mr. T-Bone as well as Celebuki, they're taking the things that they've learned over the years and are applying it to bigger and better projects. And Dark Force is a perfect example of that. Alma is another perfect example of that. Love to see it happen. And that's it.
All right, perfect. See here. Ken says night people. And then Benji says take care.
Same thing with Benji over here saying take care. Yeah, so that's, I mean, pretty much it. Is there anything else that you want to cover there, Will, before we start signing off?
Nope, not at all. I mean, technically, I already went over all the important news from Giants. So, because we got the patch 1.7 from them. We do have. It's already mid-April, so
yeah, right.
By next month, we're supposed to be getting precision farming. And then the following month, I believe we're supposed to be getting performance on plains and prairies.
Oh boy!
And we also have another patch coming as well. And I know that we have another. I found that's every 3 weeks. Every 3 weeks, we get a free content update, which is basically mods that they add. So it's either going to be once a month or twice a month we get them. And I know that we have another patch coming that's supposed to be like a free content update number 2. Which that's supposed to get released before the DLC. So
nice.
And no, for anyone wondering, I do not work for Giant Software.
Lies. He sits on a throne of lies.
No, I do not.
Yeah. But no, I mean, we got a lot of good stuff. We got tons of new maps. Just this past week alone, we got, and not only did we get a ton of new maps, we got a ton of new good maps. I mean, we are. I mean, let's face it. I'm gonna say it. We're really spoiled right off the gate here on FS25. This game's only been out for a few months now, and we have already got things like Alma, Missouri. We've got, all these different maps that are just absolutely fantastic. I mean, I'm just going through and just quickly kind of doing a quick scan of the ones that we got. Oberschwaben, again, love that one. Moss Valley, love that one. Riverview, got that one. Tassie Farm, Spakovo. We've got, let's see, Rousseau Forest. We got Silver Lake Forest. Oak Bridge Farm. How can we forget that? Peligny. I mean, holy smokes. We've got tons and tons of really good, solid maps right off the gate. And then we've got, the new ones like Waseca County. We got Alma. We've got, let's see, Old Dark Forest. What else? And we got, the Matopiba from, our South America version. I mean, long story short, we got a ton of stuff here in the FS25 that a lot of these came out very late in FS22. So it's nice to see that they're like very early on. We're going to get a ton of time to be able to jump in, bear down, and get to play on these new maps. So absolutely fantastic.
So this is all the mods, even including PC mods. So PC and also cross-platform. So far, we have 1,777 mods.
Wow.
And we're only, 4 months in? So...
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's nuts.
Also, for anyone who else is listening, whether you're on my channel or on BD's channel, I'm not gonna say who told me, but a little birdie told me that tomorrow look out for some good mods tomorrow. A lot of mods tomorrow. I was told anywhere between 20 and 40 mods. So
Nice, nice.
So
I
hope
just
that's true.
I just want to point out for people watching my stream, okay, I was wrong. I was saying 42 miles an hour. It's 39 miles an hour. But at least it can get up there.
Yeah.
Just saying. Just saying.
All right. I don't know about you, man, but I'm gonna end the stream here.
Yeah, I hear you there.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Like I said, tomorrow afternoon I will be doing a first look live stream on Star Spangle's new American map. So just stay tuned for that, when I will be accompanied by him as well. So that's going to be awesome. Other than that, if you guys like what you guys saw, make sure you smash the subscribe button, hit the like button, and then make sure you share the live stream so it gets out there. Other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.
All right, buddy. You take care. All right, so I'm just going to catch up with the last couple of chats that we had here, and then we're going to go ahead and head out for the evening. So we got, let's see, Benji saying take care. We got Samuel says, I'm out, bye, good night, great night, y'all, see you soon, next live stream later, y'all. And then Ken says, good night, people, and Samuel also says, next week, happy Easter, y'all. Absolutely. Yeah, and that is it for AgriBusiness Tonight. And as always, I had an absolute fantastic night with everyone here tonight, getting to go over mods and maps and the news. Thank you all so much for coming out here tonight and hanging out with us. I want to give a big shout out to WillT. Thank you, Will, for co-hosting this with me. Absolutely have a blast with this every single time that we do it. But
I'm just waiting for you.
There we go. And yeah, so at the end of the day, this is the end of tonight's episode. And I hope everybody had a fantastic time and enjoyed it here tonight. And if you did, please show us all by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things. The algorithms enjoy you doing. The shows you're engaged with the channel, enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Take care. Thank you.